96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. Bella's mother and her mother's boyfriend charged in connection with her killing. The National Security Minister says don't let your guard down when the sex offenders register launches. And the Prime Minister says a national conversation needed on marital rape. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's here. It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Friday, November 12th, 2021. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Stephen Hanna will be joining us. Also this morning, another drawing of the Bahamas COVID vaccination raffle. And in Morning Blend Business, we are going to be talking about pushing your business to the next level with the group Push, which celebrates women in entrepreneurship. That's coming up. But first, it's time for The Overnight, the latest breaking news from while you're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, a couple charged in connection with the high-profile murder of 4-year-old Deanya Bella Walker. They were denied bail yesterday. 33-year-old Darian Smith, the boyfriend of the toddler's mother, is charged with Bella's murder after prosecutors allege that he inflicted injuries that resulted in her death on November 5th. Smith is also accused of child cruelty by permitting abuse that caused unnecessary suffering and injury to her health. Bella's mother, Ostania Walker, is charged with exposing a child to grievous harm and child cruelty. Bella died at Princess Margaret Hospital shortly after she was brought there in an unresponsive state. An autopsy lists the cause of death as blunt force trauma. Since the charges arise out of the same facts, Smith and Walker will both be tried in the Supreme Court. As a result, they were not required to enter pleas to the charges. Walker and Smith showed no emotion during their initial court appearance before Chief Magistrate Joanne Ferguson Pratt yesterday. Smith, who had a bandage on his wrist, was neat while his girlfriend appeared disheveled. Prosecuting attorney Samantha Mia says that she did not believe that voluntary bill of indictment that will send the case to the Supreme Court would realistically be ready until the end of January, but Ferguson Pratt said that because the case had caused such national concern, that the Director of Public Prosecutions might want to expedite the case. The matter has been adjourned to December 17th. Bahamians should not let their guard down once the government fully rolls out the sexual offenders register, according to National Security Minister Wayne Monroe. He said that he hopes to address the manpower and resource issues related to the register next week. Prime Minister Philip Davis says that a national conversation is needed on the issue of marital rape. In a tweet yesterday, the Prime Minister said, quote, "Marital rape is wrong. We remain one of the few countries in the world where that is not recognized in the law. An effort to change the law should be part of a larger national conversation and consensus. I very much support having that national conversation. That tweet coming after the Prime Minister faced some backlash after he indicated that marital rape will not be a priority item for his government. On Wednesday, when asked whether the matter will be on his administration's agenda, he told the National Guardian, quote, "I have too many other things on my agenda to be thinking about." The Prime Minister's comments coming after the issue came after a study found that 39.6% of male and 43.8% of female respondents in the University of the Bahamas and the University of the Bahamas study agreed that a married couple cannot rape each other. The government will not disclose the cost of specific trips for cabinet ministers unless there is some abnormality, according to Office of the Prime Minister Press Secretary Clint Watson. Several cabinet ministers have traveled internationally since the Davis administration was elected to office. Most recently, Prime Minister Davis traveled to Glasgow, Scotland for the 2021 United Nations Climate Change Conference, and Minister of Education Gladys Hannah Martin traveled to Paris for UNESCO's General Conference. Asked about it yesterday, Watson saying that, quote, "I think maybe people want to know how much we're spending in total on travel rather than specific trips. If it warrants that, I don't see why we would have an issue not telling people." Overseas, negotiators at this year's UN climate talks in Glasgow appear to be backing away from a call to end all use of coal and phase out fossil fuel subsidies completely, but gave poor countries hope for more financial support to cope with global warming. The latest draft proposals from the meeting's chair released today call on countries to accelerate the phase-out of unabated coal power and of inefficient subsidies for fossil fuels. A previous proposal on Wednesday had been stronger, calling on countries to accelerate the phasing out of coal and subsidies for fossil fuel. While the chair's proposal is likely to undergo further negotiation at the talks, due to end today, the change in wording suggested a shift away from unconditional demands that some fossil fuel exporting nations have objected to. There was a mixed response from observers at the talks on how significant the addition of the words unabated and inefficient was. In sports, from cricket, with Belize needing 19 runs from the final over, the Bahamas skipper Gregory Taylor Jr. stepped up to the plate and conceded 8 runs as he secured the Bahamas senior men's national team's second victory at the International Cricket Council Men's 2020 America's World Cup qualifiers. Match played in Antigua yesterday. The Bahamas won by 11 runs. The Bahamas scoring their highest total of the tournament of 150 runs for the fall of 8 wickets in 20 overs in the first innings. You can read more about this in today's Guardian Sports section. From the NFL, a stunner, Miami. Yes, the Dolphins winning their second straight in Thursday night football action, beating the Baltimore Ravens 22-10. The Dolphins now improved to 3-7 for the season so far. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. In your weather for today, the combination of a prefrontal trough associated with an approaching cold front, along with frontal trough near the southeast Bahamas, and streaming tropical moisture will support unsettled weather across the islands through Saturday. There is an elevated risk for severe weather across the northwest and central islands. Localized flooding is also possible during heavy and/or prolonged rainfall events. Boaters should be alert for possible waterspouts, and swimmers should exercise caution due to the risk of rip currents along east and south coast beaches mainly in the central and southeast Bahamas today. For all areas today, your forecast calls for mostly cloudy to overcast conditions with widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. That'll continue through tonight. Expect breezy conditions in the central and southeast Bahamas. Some showers may be heavy and thunderstorms strong to severe at times. Smoke-craft caution in effect for the central and southeast Bahamas. Smoke-craft operators should be alert for gusty winds and higher seas in or near heavy showers or thunderstorms. Winds east to southeast at 10 knots or less in the northwest Bahamas, east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots in the central and southeast islands. Seas 3 feet or less in the northwest Bahamas, but 4 to 6 feet in the central and southeastern islands. Seas will be slightly higher in northeasterly swells. We're looking at high temperatures getting up to around 81 Fahrenheit, 27 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to 75 Fahrenheit, 24 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up after traffic in just a bit.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way.
You're listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
Wake up, it's a new day.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Technology makes every day in life just a little bit easier. Whether it's for joy, productivity, or creativity, Custom Computers has all the latest gadgets to conquer any obstacle. Imagine automating mundane tasks with tech and living a freer, richer lifestyle, all while staying on top of your goals. The path to freedom could fit in the palm of your hand. Discover tomorrow's technology today at Custom Computers on Patton Street, Cable Beach, and Caves Village through the Blake Road entrance.
For 38 years, Strachan Commercial Pest Services has provided trained, certified technicians while using environmentally safe, industry-standard products. Pests can devastate your business. Together, we will ensure adequate sanitation standards and safe pest exclusion methods. Uncontrolled pest problems lead to significant financial loss due to food contamination, business disruption, and stock waste. Strachan provides detailed solutions protecting your business and reputation. Strachan, #1 in pest control services.
If you like Frito-Lay chips like Ruffles, Doritos, Cheetos Smart Food Popcorn, and Funyuns, you're gonna love getting a chance to win great instant prizes this Saturday, November 13th at Extra Value Oaksfield. Join the Frito-Lay Island Wholesale Team between 12 and 3 this Saturday. Make a qualifying purchase of any Frito-Lay's chips or Smart Food Popcorn, and you get a chance to spin and win great instant prizes. Don't forget to put your contact info on your receipt and drop it in the promo box at participating locations for a chance to win bicycles and hoverboards in the grand prize drawing November 27th. Frito-Lay chips, distributed by Island Wholesale.
Janae's Chesapeake Road Christmas Wonderland is open under the big tent. Get your Christmas trees in pink, frosted, green, or white in a variety of sizes. Musical Christmas LED and laser lights, a large variety of tree ornaments, lighted angels and Santa tree toppers, bright and lively colored Christmas balls in all sizes, garlands, wreaths, tree skirts, stockings, and lots more. Add flowers, picks, and decorative mesh to brighten up your home or office this holiday season. And don't forget the toys at Janae's Chesapeake Road. Check our selections online at www.janae's.com.
We are working to protect our country, our people, and our livelihoods so that we can move forward. The vaccine is safe. The vaccine is easy. The vaccine is essential for our recovery. If we want to rebuild our economy, if we want to get back to our jobs, if we want to get back to our lives, our families, we must do this together.
What does Christmas mean to you? What about the joy and satisfaction you get in starting the home projects you've wanted to do all year? CIBC First Caribbean helps you make your Christmas wishes come true with easy and flexible financing and personal loans. Apply online and smile all the way this holiday season. Visit CIBCFCIB.com for more information. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Wake up today. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that this is the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Stephen Hanna. Good morning, Stephen Hanna.
Morning, what's up?
Right here. Hope you're doing well.
I'm good. Just trying to stop this echo in my head. 1 second.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, that's much better.
Good. And we didn't hear it either, so that's excellent. All right.
Because it's in my head.
Very
It's in my head, Dwight. That's how it works.
Good. Wonderful stuff. All right. And we have a lot to talk about this morning. You can join the conversation as well, folks. Tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. Coming up this morning, more weather and traffic, and we've got another drawing of the COVID vaccination raffle. And later in Morning Blend Business, we're going to be talking about your business, taking it to the next level with a group calling themselves Push. They have a special seminar, a hybrid seminar this weekend. And we're going to get some details from them about that. So that's coming up, but let's begin with what's in the news. And in the news, finally, the couple has been charged in connection with Deanya Bethla Walker's death. Or T.Z. Davis writing about this in today's Nassau Guardian. A couple charged in connection with the high-profile murder of 4-year-old Deanya Bella Walker was yesterday denied bail. Darian Smith, the 33-year-old boyfriend of the toddler's mother, is charged with Bella's murder after prosecutors alleged that he inflicted injuries that resulted in her death on November 5th. Smith is also accused of child cruelty by permitting abuse that caused unnecessary suffering and injury to her health. Bella's mother, Ostonia Walker, is charged with exposing a child to grievous harm and child cruelty. Bella died at Princess Margaret Hospital shortly after she was brought there in an unresponsive state. An autopsy lists the cause of death as blunt force trauma. Since the charges arise out of the same facts, Smith and Walker will both be tried in the Supreme Court. As a result, they are not required to enter pleas to the charges. Walker and Smith showed no emotion during the initial court appearance before Chief Magistrate Joyanne Ferguson Pratt yesterday. Smith, who had a bandage on his wrist, appeared neat, while his girlfriend appeared disheveled. Prosecuting attorney Samantha Mia says that she did not believe that the voluntary bill of indictment that will send the case to the Supreme Court would realistically be ready until the end of January. But Ferguson Pratt said that because the case had such national concern that the Director of Public Prosecutions might want to expedite the case. She said, quote, I would wish for it to have a December date with a view that the matter might be fast-tracked in view of the nature and seriousness of the charges. The matter's been adjourned to December 17th. Why? Yeah, so.
Have you guys had the discussion where it's like, this is, everybody was up in arms before. Do we still have that same passion towards it now that it's sounding more and more like a straightforward, this is somebody beating their child too far?
I'm sure many people do, maybe not everybody, but
I'm just hoping that we don't lose people because they only see the stuff that they don't do as abuse and not the stuff that they also participate in. But for the grace of God, it would be their child because they have no problem throwing anything that comes to their hand at their child. Mm-hmm. Or, they watch, or they beat their child and then they want somebody else to beat the child because the child didn't cry enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm hoping that everybody who is on this needs to stop wagon is still on it. Mm-hmm. And nobody got off and say, oh, they just beat the child. And then just wave it off as you just got to know when to stop. As opposed to, let's make sure this never happens again. So, I mean, I don't know. I haven't, when it was, when all the accusations of sexual assault were flying about, I couldn't turn half a step in any direction without seeing it online or in person. And I actually was in the food store, was that yesterday? Either yesterday or the day before, one of those days. And one of the parking boys was upset because he's like, they say it wasn't even that. And like, that happened, dog. They say he just beat up. Mm. And so it's like, to what extent are we okay with crime, violence, or if you're religious, sin, as long as it's what we do? And we only, want to berate the ones that we don't participate in.
Yeah. Well, I think in this regard, we definitely can't be using the word we. There are going to be some people, and we've heard a lot of that.
Well, it can't be we because
like
I don't have no child, and you don't have no child.
Well, let me finish, right? There are going to be people who are reacting like that packing boy that you talked about, and that's very disturbing. But there are a whole lot of people who are still sickened
as they should be,
as sickened and more sickened now that they're seeing the reaction from so many other people about the seeming disappointment that it wasn't more. And,
right.
So it's a lot. We know that we have a lot of warped people here, and that is warped, whether you want to admit it or not. People, right? This is a child that was murdered. Another one. It happens all the time here. Yeah. Murdered children.
But we don't actually remember it because now that I think about it, that didn't come up in the conversation. There was another, wasn't it a young boy who was killed by the mother's boyfriend because the boyfriend beat him with a pan or something like that, like a couple of years back. But when everybody was saying, "Oh, we have to remember all these children who died," it was only the ones related to like sexual assault. And I'm not trying to downplay the trauma of sexual assault and all that stuff. That needs to stop.
Yeah.
But also this needs to stop. Both of these things need to stop. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not one or the other. We need to not just look at the person who's the creepy pervert on the side of the road that we all detest, but we also need to look in the mirror and say, well, am I the monster inside this story? Like, in 20 years, will my child be in therapy having this conversation about me? Because I used to beat them with a belt buckle because that's what used to happen to me, or because I needed to assert my dominance over a minor? But that's a conversation that I don't know I'm hearing.
Yeah. Well, people are having it, but yes, there's far too many people who are acting like the
I need
young man
all
you
of them to have
encountered.
it.
Yeah, we definitely do, and we need a lot of things to change around here. But again, just like the child who was shot last year, the one before with the stray bullet that went through while they're doing homework. These stories, after a week, we forget. People are, oh yeah, I forgot about it. Yeah. How could you?
Because violence isn't a big deal inside this country. Violence is a way of life. And it's like, even something as simple as when we look at, what's that show name? Shock Treatment, right? Where it's like, if you are teaching children that people in authority assert dominance by screaming at you and flinging you out of a bus and throwing your clothes in the road, all you have to do is just change that from a police officer and a defense force officer doing it to a husband doing it to his wife because he don't like the way she cooks something, or he don't like the, and suddenly, and don't forget, we live inside a country where people are taught constantly the man is the head, so therefore the woman is underneath him. So it's like, it would not be unimaginable that a husband feels like he has to correct his wife. And instead of having a conversation, it is screaming and flinging and throwing things. And even, and because nobody is actually punched, it's like, oh, it's okay. But all of that is abuse. Yeah. And you're teaching them that the loudest person in the room is the correct person. So now when they get into an altercation, it's going to be about them being the loudest, them being the strongest, them being the person to throw somebody around, as opposed to actually dealing with their issues. If the only language you can speak to your child is violence, why are we shocked when the children are violent? They're just communicating in the language that you taught them. If you speak to them in English, they'll speak English. If you speak to them in punching them in the back of their head or screaming at them, then it is no surprise when we see people inside the middle of the road cussing and screaming at each other, punching each other in the back of the head because they have a mild disagreement that could easily be resolved. Mm-hmm. And that is why the prisons are full, because like we have a communication issue.
Yep. And we're not getting it. And of course, we're going to get the text messages about spare the rod, spoil the child. We're going to get all that this morning, and everyone's going to call us every single name. I love
people who cannot read quoting Bible scriptures at me because it is often telling that you know one Bible scripture. You could not find it in the Bible if I gave you an hour, and you know nothing else. You know, John 3:16, spare the rod, spoil the child, and somewhere in there it say gay people need the dead. But other than that, you don't know nothing about the Bible. Wow. And so it's like, it is always an exciting venture to have that conversation with those persons.
Right.
Well, whatever.
Yeah. We can't let this one up though, and it's gone on far too long, and we know another one is coming. Sadly, and people are going to be outraged again for 15 minutes, and then
but even in their outrage, the way the outrage manifests itself is more violent.
Yeah, of course.
Like, it's no one is saying. First of all, I don't even know if Bella has siblings. I don't know if Bella has cousins. I don't know if Bella has friends. I mean, she's like 4, right? Right. So I don't know to what extent is this damaging other young persons who were in close contact with her?
Lots of questions.
I don't hear anybody saying we have to make sure that those children are able to process this grief and this trauma.
Yeah.
This trauma. What we're hearing is, some people deserve to be, hung and quartered and dropped in the bottom of the ocean, which is fine, because that's Jesus said to do that. Literally, he said, put a millstone around your neck and jump in the ocean before you hurt a child.
All right.
But
well, the National Security Minister is saying a lot of interesting things. Wayne Monroe providing some additional details into exactly what caused Bella's death. Take a listen to this report and what he's saying here in this report from our Berthany McDermott.
Autopsy, the young child was subject to trauma sufficient to break ribs that punctured internal organs and caused massive bleeding.
National Security Minister Wayne Monroe shared the autopsy results during a press briefing at the office of the Prime Minister. Even more shocking was the revelation that this wasn't the first time the 4-year-old suffered physical abuse.
Exercising some care because the matter will be headed to a judicial body, there was some indication of previous injuries.
Well, the tragic death of 4-year-old Bella Walker prompting many to call for changes to the Child Protection Act or even stiffer penalties for perpetrators. This as the family of the 4-year-old is calling for Bella's law. Will we put those questions to National Security Minister Wayne Monroe this morning?
The penalty for murder in this country is still death, potentially. I don't know that you could get a stiffer penalty than that. And so I don't believe in knee-jerk reactions. If you want something to change, what you would do is you would articulate, we think there is this weakness. We think the penalty for killing a child is not sufficiently severe. And then the answer will be, well, the penalty, if it's an appropriate case, is death. How more severe a penalty would you like?
Her tragic death ignited public outrage as many are demanding justice. Police confirmed that Bella suffered blunt force trauma, but Monroe previously said there was no indication of sexual assault. Those comments sparking outrage as residents took to social media, suggesting attempts are being made to cover up the true cause of death. The minister hit back.
Why we have to have the indignity of a sexual assault combined with that for us to be outraged is what makes me truly upset with Bahamian people who it's almost as if they desired that she undergo that indignity as well. Some people believe or seem to think that our sense of outrage should be any less because a child who was subjected to great violence was not also sexually abused. That is a sick mindset that we really need to get out of this country.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
Hi. Wayne Monroe saying some very interesting things there. Let's get your reaction to it. He's saying the laws are there. People have been saying we need the legislators to come, but the laws are there. Maybe you want the penalties to be stiffened. Maybe you want longer sentences. But people are just saying the lawmakers are lawmakers. But yeah, be specific. What is it that you want? If you kill somebody, there's a penalty for it, right? What do you want changed, though? 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. And the minister's saying a lot of things you're talking about as well, Stephen, right? Why is the outrage diminished because now that it appears that the sexual assault might not have been there?
Because people don't have anything better with themselves. They think that life is a drama, like a Netflix special, and so they want to be shocked and horrified, and they see the news as entertainment, and it's not. It's to alert you of horrible things that's happening inside the world. And so, I don't know. I got nothing, Dory.
Wow. All right, let's get to some of your messages. Again, call in. This person says here, it's somewhat sad to think these two people probably did not expect the child to die, irrespective of what they did to her. that in itself is a lesson, as Stephen's suggesting. And it's not the only lesson for us. Many people drive drunk despite all of us knowing how dangerous driving drunk is. It's the weekend, right? We need a revamped socialization education campaign for children and adults, something to combat the nonsense in the community.
You know what we need, right? Just in general, we need, and in a broader sense, it's going to sound very pretentious, but we need culture, right? And it's like part of the reason why we are is because there is no push to say this is, besides, people say, oh, Bahamian culture is crack conch and Junkanoo and conch fritters, right? And it's like, that's food. What is our culture? Who are we and how do we do things, right? And if you look at the quote-unquote developed nations, their mindset is kind of driven by their media, right? Their media, the stuff that they put out that isn't just news, that says, this is the ideal family. The ideal family is this many people, this person has this level of education, this person has this, and they own a house and they strive for this, and this is how they deal with hardships. And all those things that we look at as just sitcoms or dramas or whatever are tools to teach a society how to be and what to strive for and right and wrong and set the general morality of the society. We don't have that locally. What we have is whatever is the most show on Netflix. And that oftentimes is escapism for these developed countries that already know that they shouldn't be aiming for this level of violence. But we only get that level of violence because that's the only thing that ekes out because, oh, that has high numbers or whatever. And we don't have anything to counter-program that. All we have is Netflix and the news, and so we start to think violence is normal.
Well, actually, now you're getting into something really complex because I think you are right. I think you are right. But if you notice, the U.S. has walked away from that as well. And but this is going to take up the whole show, so we have to do a show on this. But the U.S. has moved away. You can't find a wholesome 2 kids or 3 kids and the mom and dad.
2.5 children. It's always a baby.
That doesn't exist on American television anymore. There are rarely any shows that depict what was supposed to be what everyone was supposed to strive for. Now everyone is in the mob. Everybody is.
But see, that's the thing. Those you're right and you're wrong because a lot of those serial killer shows are not for general public consumption.
Okay.
They're not on the network television.
The network television's moved in that direction too because of the popularity.
Not as much though.
Well, okay,
but I mean, there's some. But if you look at CBS still is trying to do family wholesome stuff.
No, they're not.
And their comedy is, you know what? That's a long
they
conversation.
Really
You're
aren't.
Right.
Everybody's moved. Everything.
You're right.
It's unbelievable. That's a show. That's a whole show. Let's take these calls and we'll get to these messages. Good morning. But we're in trouble. Let's just say that. We're all in trouble.
Right, because all we're getting is that, and we're
all of our heroes are killers.
They're
all of the heroes, yes, right, and that is a problem for all of the world. Anyway,
60 years ago, those people would be considered villains,
and they always died or went to jail in the end. Right,
but now
they
always
are.
Walk away
We are
scot-free.
rooting for them. We're supposed to root for them. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Going away so long with you and Stephen, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, Dwight, I can hardly hear you, but if I may, today is the Memorial Day of yesterday, of course, made Levan Bannister 1 year, and today is 1 year and 1 day. I want to say, please, condolences, family, and for them to be encouraged, especially as children. Getting back at this violent stuff what happened to the little girl, right? The thing is, our people, Stephen talked about getting beat with the belt, belt buckle, and something else. He said, culture. We had a culture whereby children, if they were to get strapped, they would get strapped on their buttocks, which is the most muscle. And when you're going to beat a child and tell you break up their rib. That's not disciplining a child. That's killing a child. You know,
But
you
where
gotta,
a 4-year-old child is so small that there is no right place to strap a 4-year-old child.
No, my point is, if you're going to do it, right, if you're going to spank a child, it should be on their buttocks, whereby they're not going to feel it as much, but they would get an understanding of what you're trying to say.
You think so?
Let me ask you a question.
They'll stop it for the moment and resent you. I guarantee you, resent you at some point. Or as Stephen says,
develop a complex.
Right.
You don't know what's going to happen.
Learn that this is the way to deal with things.
Right.
And if that child in that class says something to me, I'm going to discipline you.
They assume that everybody is going to eventually hit or punch or strike them, and they have no trust in anybody inside the world.
Yeah.
Like there's no way that doesn't affect a child's thinking. Either they accept it as normal or they build some resentment. But there's no way that doesn't come up. And what I was going to ask him was, can you reason with the child as to, like, using words, explain to the child why they shouldn't do this thing? And if you cannot use words, what makes you think that knocking the living daylights out of them is going to do any better? Then you're not really hitting the child to teach them anything, because you're saying the child can't be taught with words. What you're doing is you're establishing dominance. That's two different things. Mm-hmm. You're like, listen to me. Whatever I say, do it no matter what. You're not saying the reason why you shouldn't do this thing is because you're going to get hurt.
Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Good morning, caller. Hi. Hi, good morning. You're on the air. Okay, 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Let's get to some of these messages here. Someone says here, who made Clint Watson king? The Bahamian people have a right to know how much was spent on those overseas trips. It's our tax dollars that's paying. After all, it's supposed to be a new day. Well, they said they're going to do it in a total or something like that, but not specific unless there's a reason. Well, it's not about Clint Watson. That's the policy of the administration. He's relaying the policy of the administration. Okay, he's the messenger, as they say, right?
Not the king.
Not the king. This person says, "What about Wayne Monroe calling some Bahamians stupid? Or are you all trying to cover that up?" Well, let me tell you something. Some Bahamians are stupid. We tell you that all the time. So, right? What about it?
Well, let's put things in context. Who did he call stupid?
Well, he said that a lot in that report that we just played.
Oh, well, I mean, if it was the report we just talking about, then yes, that's fine. Mm-hmm. I have no issue with that. I mean, sometimes it's inappropriate to call somebody stupid.
Sometimes.
And sometimes it is, because if the only reason why you care about a dead baby is because rape and nothing else, as though, like, the fact that the child is dead is not grim enough for you to mourn and say, how can we avoid this in the future? Then perhaps heavy words should be leveled against you, at the very least.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, by the way, there are people who record the show. Do you know that? You know that, right? And they send out voice notes. So that one's going to go viral, I'm sure. Oh, this guy in the morning. Oh, man. Okay. Anyway,
people love me. What are you talking about? It's you they complain about.
That's what I'm talking about. Because I just called it, some babies are stupid. What? Oh, my God. All right. I think
Whereas I've actually called people stupid on the radio. And you'd be like, oh, don't say stupid.
Well, I mean, because you call someone specific stupid.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not calling anybody. Context. If you feel upset that I said some Bahamians are stupid, then maybe you might be. Anyway, this person says here, you all call people stupid every day? Anyway, I think Monroe is missing the point that the people don't trust the police and their reporting. No outrage is diminished. We are all horrified at the death of this little angel and the fact that the mother let this happen to her baby. Well, okay. The people don't trust the police and their reporting. Well, Well, that's on you. And I
Here's
get
the
it.
thing.
I get it.
No,
but let's
there was
not make
never
up
a
stuff.
point. There was never a point from any official report that said sexual abuse. All right? I do not know where and when it started. And Bahamians, think about every great tragedy that has ever happened and think about how if you didn't hear it on the news, you heard all sorts of fantastic things that would have led you to believe something completely different from what actually happened. I remember when Miles Monroe plane crashed, there was a voice note going around with a woman saying he's alive. She just went up to his room and carried him food, and he wasn't on that plane, and it wasn't true. The other day, somebody was like, Mother Pratt dead, and I was like, oh no, it was a different Mother Pratt from a church group that somebody leaked out, and Mother Pratt, the government, the former deputy prime minister, the deputy governor general, that lady had to put out a voice note to say that she is alive, because we love spectacular drama to fill these voids in our life, which is all the more reason why we probably need to invest in like television, because at least we would put our fantastical ideas to good use. But all these things, like we crave the worst version of the story, and it's not what happened.
Yeah.
And you should be happy that your worst thoughts are, and don't automatically assume, oh no, they're covering up.
Yeah.
It had to be worse than that.
Very sad.
What is worse than a child being beaten to death?
Very sad. Let's take these calls quickly, and then we've got to take a break. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning. How are you?
Doing well.
Morning.
Yeah, I don't think you and your guests are stupid, but I think you may be plain stupid. You see, the call before was not talking about abusing a child. The call before was trying to get you to understand that there is a right way and a wrong way.
Well, we can't agree.
And he was trying to let
we
you
don't
know.
I don't think. And who says there's a right way? No, we can't allow
this. He was trying
this.
to let you know.
Yeah, right way to no.
Did
no.
he angrily?
Yeah,
hang up on
and
you?
that's good. Please. Right way to beat a child. Okay, you stop it. Stop. Let's take another call. Yeah, you could have your little group chats and send your voice notes on the right way to beat a child. But please don't call the radio and tell us the right way to beat a child. Please, let's not do that in 2021.
And explain to us all the good examples of persons who underwent that and how they became successes in society. Show us all the success stories from your right way to beat a child, including yourself. Tell us what great things have you achieved.
Don't.
No. I want somebody whose father used to beat them with a belt buckle to call and say, he only beat me on my buttocks, and I am a healthy, thriving, mentally sound individual, and tell us what you've achieved in life directly as a result of being beaten in the correct way. We'll wait.
Yeah. And you have to tell your names too, so that everyone can corroborate and say, "Oh, but I'm his third mistress.
That psychopath.
I'm his outside child and whatever." But anyway, good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight Strachan and the other gentleman. I hope you're doing well.
Yes.
Stephen Anna, yeah, okay, all right. Now, the thing is that I heard what the Minister of National Security had to say. But what I know and I understand is that the average person doesn't understand anything about law. He made a comment about what is it that they want. These people are very frustrated. You have never seen the judiciary in this country or even the legal profession teach the people about law. They know very little about law. He talks about laws that have been passed, but the average person in Baintown and Fox Hill and other parts of this country don't even understand these things.
I don't know if that's
true. Who is explaining to them about the law relating to murder? That's not being clarified. How do you expect the average person to understand if they're not taught?
I mean, what part do you think people don't get?
Pardon?
What part do you think people don't get when it
Mr.
comes to
Strachan, they
murder?
don't get anything because they've never been taught. The legal profession in this, well, let's say the parliament then, because the parliament really consists of a lot of them. That has been so from the beginning. In the Senate, in the House of Assembly, you have an army of lawyers. But the average person knows nothing about statute law, knows nothing about constitutional law. Well, the constitutional law, they know nothing about that, period. Even plenty of them in the House and in the Senate. But, Dwight, the problem is that the people need to be taught about law. There's no training for the average Bahamian in basic fundamental principles of the law. I heard what the Attorney General said, but he's talking in a language that the average person does not understand.
I don't know if that's right.
I don't know if that's true because,
no, it is true. What do you mean you don't know?
I mean, I think it was very simple, but he's saying that people are saying that the lawmakers need to do this, the law needs to change. But he says the laws are there. If you have an issue, come forward with your suggestions. And that seems pretty simple.
The point is, you do not see these penalties
that's a different
that he's
issue.
talking about. Where you see them being enforced?
Yeah, well, that's totally
No,
different.
but that's a different issue. You're saying that the people in being in Grantstown don't have a grasp of
no, they don't.
If you kill somebody, the punishment for that is still murder on the books?
No, but it may be on the books, sir.
You're telling me that nobody in being in Grantstown has ever had
You're
interaction with the
misunderstanding me
courts?
completely. Let me make my point very
No. It's not that I'm misunderstanding you. I
Yes,
want
you
you
do.
to.
I am saying
the thing,
they
sir.
have
I
no
heard what you said. I didn't
understanding
interrupt.
basic fundamental understanding about law, period. Constitutional law and statute law. That is across the board in this country.
All right, so what are we going to do about it? How are we going to...
No, it's
I'm
not
glad you
true.
asked that.
Well,
what has
let's
to happen
hear
is
this.
the people need to be taught properly to understand when an attorney appears on their behalf before a court and something happens and a judgment is made. You have people decide, hey, boy, he killed my brother, he killed my sister. I can take matters into my own hands because they don't even understand, because the attorney doesn't cause them to understand why the court would have ruled either for them or against them. And so you have people get up with these pent-up feelings. What do you expect out of the people? And all they do is end up taking advantage of the average Bahamian. You check Matthew 23, what God has to say about the legal profession in this country and in other countries.
Okay.
They lay burdens on the average man. They're only interested in making money. When people get in trouble, why can't we not teach them about law so they could behave differently? There's no widespread teaching about...
You're conflating two different
I think he's onto something, but yeah.
No, it's not
everybody's
about
got...
right. It's the same thing. It's about law.
Yeah,
If
okay.
people understand how to behave themselves and how the law ought to be administered in basic fundamental terminology, instead of him talking this legal type language that the average person never understands, how do you expect them to know? He's way above their head.
Okay.
What legal,
Thanks a lot.
language?
All right.
The law on the books say if you kill somebody, the punishment for that is still death. That's what he said.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that is complicated. And he's asking what further punishment would you want?
Well, the call's talking about something a little different, but
No, that's
everything
my point.
is everything's right
conflating
there.
two different things. He's saying that people don't understand the law, but also we need to educate persons deeper in the law, and that's two different things. People understand exactly what Wayne Monroe said.
Well, in that regard, but what he's talking about is
It's
just
something
in
else.
general. Yes. All right. Let's take a break, and then we'll be back. We have a lot more to talk about. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
I was still a child, didn't get the chance. Feel the world around me. I had no time to.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Your first look at traffic for this morning brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. In your real-time traffic, we've got Mile Butler Highway. As usual, the hot spot this morning, heavy traffic from Fire Trail all the way up to Tawny Williams-Darling Highway. Fire Trail backed up a bit as well to the roundabout with Mile Butler Highway. Gladstone Road also busy for you this morning from just north of Fire Trail all the way up to JFK Drive. And Blue Hill Road, seeing some heavy traffic north of Soldier Road, heading to northbound lanes there. Independence Drive backed up as well, westbound to that roundabout. Further south, you've got Blue Hill Road seeing some heavy traffic near Carmichael Road and especially St. Vincent Road, and especially in the northbound lanes. Carmichael eastbound to Blue Hill building traffic there, and westbound on Carmichael heading to Coral Harbor Road, you're going to be seeing building traffic there. Elsewhere, we've got East Street between Soldier and the East-West Highway, Independence Drive roundabout, and further up at the Robbins Road East Street intersection, heavy traffic there, and building traffic along Prince Charles Drive and Robinson Road, and the intersection of Village, Wolf, Bernard, and Soldier Road. Those are your hot spots this morning. We'll give you another real-time update after the 8 o'clock news. That's your Morning Blend Traffic Alert, brought to you by RBC Royal Bank, Banking Reimagined. And time for another check of your weather for today. We've got the combination of a prefrontal trough associated with an approaching cold front, along with a frontal trough near the southeast Bahamas, coupled with streaming tropical moisture that's going to all combine to support an unsettled weather pattern across the country through Saturday. For all areas today, look for mostly cloudy to overcast conditions with widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms through tonight. Expect breezy conditions in the central and southeast Bahamas. Some showers may be heavy and thunderstorms strong to severe at times. Small craft caution in effect for the central and southeast islands. Small craft operators should be alert for gusty winds and higher seas in or near heavy showers or thunderstorms. Temperature-wise today, highs getting up to around 81 Fahrenheit, 27 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to 75 Fahrenheit, 24 Celsius. In your extended outlook, a series of cold fronts will push early Saturday morning through Monday. So for tomorrow, Saturday, we're expecting variable cloudy to occasionally overcast conditions with widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, mainly near the frontal boundary. And Sunday, partly to mostly cloudy with a few scattered showers. The tropics are quiet. Tropical cyclone formation not expected during the next 5 days. That's your Morning Blend weather check. We'll be back with more Morning Blend after these messages here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
To those affected by a hurricane, the damage is far greater than the eye can see. It's the pain of experiencing damage to your home. But there are people right here that can help. We're CG Atlantic General. We're your neighbors. We live here and work here too. We're always ready to answer calls and to process your claims as quickly as possible. So when a storm turns your life upside down, we're here to turn it around. CG Atlantic General. Good like that. Security and General Insurance Company Limited, trading as CG Atlantic General. Contact CG Atlantic.
It's encouraging that the national COVID-19 vaccine rollout is going successfully. It's not the only precaution to reduce the spread of the virus in our communities. It's important to continue practicing safety protocols because it is our social responsibility to protect ourselves and to protect others.
Wash your hands for a friend with a weaker immune system.
Only read and share information from trusted sources to avoid unnecessary panic.
I'm gonna need y'all to avoid these large crowds. You could have loved ones at home who have underlying health conditions. Do it.
Practicing safety protocols is an act of brotherly and sisterly love.
The life you save may just be yours as well as your neighbor.
Together, we will win.
This message is brought to you by the PAHO WHO Bahamas and Turks and Caicos Country Office, the Ministry of Health, and the Healthy Bahamas Coalition.
That's the sound of a bite-sized payment I made on my new laptop.
Can I make a bite-sized payment on this amazing vacation?
Yes, with Scotia Select Pay. Now mine are more manageable with flexible bite-sized payments over 3, 6, 9, or 12 months at a lower interest rate. Scotia Select Pay allows me to better plan my expenses over time. The best part? No credit checks or financing application. Visit bs.scotiabank.com. Conditions apply.
With BTC Business's new smart solutions powered by super-fast, reliable broadband, you'll feel like there are more versions of you working for you. From website design, development, and digital marketing to promote your business, 24/7 business class support to cloud solutions, security, and more. Multiply your growth today.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM.
There ain't no gold in this river that I've been washing my hands in forever.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Stephen Hanna on this Friday morning. Okay, let's see if we can get back on track here.
We'll never get back on track.
Yeah.
Sir.
Let's read some of these messages that are coming in. Dwight and Stephen, Bahamian people seem to like being lied to. I think this is the first time I have seen a national security minister go as far as he did and open with a matter, and some people still think they're trying to hide something. Seems like these people need help also. Okay.
Yes, they do.
Need help. This person says, if it's not bad news, it's not news. The false accusation about Bella wasn't fair to that young child's memories. If you're looking to blame anyone about the bad publicity concerning Bella, blame the ones who started it.
Did they?
I don't know. But those initial, I don't know who it was, but the initial messages weren't good, and people believed the first thing they heard. And I continue to believe that, even though no one knows where that came from.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The first official report that I saw from the police did not mention that.
Yeah, but by then, the official, the first voice notes and text messages, those were so widely circulated.
If it's a voice note, treat it as a work of fiction. Because what you have is somebody trying to tell the best story that they could possibly think of.
Wow.
All the more reason that we need to invest in the arts and the entertainment sector so these people could actually do something productive with their time.
Have an outlet.
Yes, an outlet for their creative minds.
My goodness.
Because right now what they're doing is they're creating fake news. Everybody could tell you, how many times has somebody call in and say they know people who die from taking the vaccine? And it's like, who? Who? Nobody knows who, because it's a story that somebody told really, really well. And it just keeps moving.
Yeah.
And it takes a life of its own.
This person says here, abuse is abuse. If you tell a child they will never be anything in life, that's abuse. Sexual, physical, emotional, all are ways children are abused. Stop it. Do better than your parents did. Yeah, that's very...
I concur.
Than your parents did, yeah. This person says here, for that caller defending beating, is there a right way for the police to beat them? You know, I was just thinking about that during the break.
For some people will be yes.
Huh?
It always depends.
Wow.
Dwight, I will never forget. It was one weekend. It wasn't even a weekend. It was like a 2-day period where one day the police reportedly beat somebody and they said, oh, this is too far. The police need to stop. The police are out of control. And then the other day, an old woman got shot. And somebody was like, when the police find them, they need to beat them. That was the general tenor of everybody's voice on the radio for those 2 days. One day, it was like, the police shouldn't hit anybody, and that irresponsible. Everybody was a bleeding heart liberal that day. The next day, the police need to take these dudes out back and tune them up. And it's like the line is so malleable. It's so temporary and movable depending on how you feel. And that's the problem.
How and
That's why
who
we
and
have
who
laws.
to. Yeah, it
Yeah,
seems.
as long as it ain't you and your child.
Right, exactly.
Once we do, then anything goes.
My goodness.
Because if it's you and your child, you don't want your child to be raped to death. But you okay saying, oh, they lying. There's no, she was, come on, guys.
Let's take this call quickly. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning. How are we doing?
Doing well.
Holding
Excellent. Lovely show. Always love listening to you. There were two callers that called in a while ago, and one of them literally hung up, and because you disagree with him, the way to punish a child, and a lot of so-called Christians. Well, the Bible says train up a child in the way they should go. The Bible does say train up a child, not beat up a child, and there is no right way to actually beat a child. There's no right way or wrong way. You shouldn't beat a child. I'm a product of that beating between the age of 14 and 20. The people couldn't walk down the road. When they walked down the road, they saw me, they used to hide. And that's because the beating I used to get from my uncle that I had, he used to beat me until blood bruises come on me, right? And literally when I got saved in 1988, and I told him, I point my finger in his face. I said, you know, if I didn't get saved, I was killing you, right? Because and I said that to him because the way he used to beat me, he used to beat me like I was a runaway slave. Every child, when you beat them, you're gonna damage them automatically. You're gonna ruin their lives, and some of them in different ways. Like in my way, I wanted to destroy the world. I didn't even understand why it was. Just this morning, I'm listening to God. That's why I was the way I was, because of all that beating I used to get.
Yeah.
Have a great day, guys.
Okay. This text here. Dwight, you can't beat a woman or an elderly person with a belt when they don't do what you say and it not be a crime. But Bahamians think you can beat a child when they don't do what you say. It's a serious slave master mentality passed down through the ages.
Yeah, because you own your child. Your child is your property. So you can do whatever you want to do to your child.
This text here, I'm not sure this is all they said. Have you both experienced being disciplined as children growing up?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, if you call it discipline.
You all better stop this lame attempt to whitewash or clean up the station's involvement in reporting slack and nasty rumors. I heard all of you talk about sexual abuse in this case without having all the evidence.
It's impossible for you to have heard me talk about it.
Well, not you, Stephen, but listen, listen to the texter. Listen.
Generalization.
We said we didn't know, right? And those were the early, and it's been cleared up. We said regardless of whether it happened in this case, it is indeed happening. So there will be another one coming up in a matter of hours, probably, right? So I don't know what your problem is, texter, but I have a few words I can't say on air for you. But we cannot hide from this, right? Whether it happened in this case or not. Sexual abuse of children is real, and we have to stop it. We have to do everything. We have to talk about it as often as we can so people understand that this is not something that can be tolerated in this country. We'll be back after the news.
In these waters, but I can't bring myself to swim when I am drowning in this silence, baby. Let me in. Go easy, hold me, baby. I was still
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for your smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook X422 4796. And now at 8:22, time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. Here's what's happening. We've got the combination of a prefrontal trough associated with an approaching cold front, along with a frontal trough near the southeast Bahamas. This, coupled with streaming tropical moisture, will continue to support an unsettled weather pattern across the islands through Saturday. There's an elevated risk for severe weather across the northwest and central Bahamas, and localized flooding is also possible during heavy and or prolonged rainfall events. Boaters need to remain alert for possible waterspouts, and swimmers should exercise caution due to the risk of rip currents along east and south coast beaches, mainly in the central and southeast Bahamas. For today, for all areas, look for mostly cloudy to overcast conditions with widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms through tonight. Expect breezy conditions in the central and southeast Bahamas. Some showers may be heavy and thunderstorms strong to severe at times. Small craft cautions in effect for the central and southeast Bahamas, and small craft operators should be alert for gusty winds and higher seas in or near heavy showers or thunderstorms. Temperature-wise, today, look for highs getting up to around 81 Fahrenheit, 27 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to 75 Fahrenheit, 24 Celsius. In your extended outlook, a series of cold fronts will push through the islands beginning early tomorrow morning through Monday. So for tomorrow, Saturday, we're looking at variable cloudy to occasionally overcast periods with widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, mainly near the frontal boundary. And by Sunday, partly to mostly cloudy conditions with a few scattered showers. In your extended outlook, the tropics are quiet and tropical cyclone formation not expected during the next 5 days. That's your Morning Blend weather check, brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. What's first for you comes first for us. .24 the time now, and time for another check of your traffic for this morning. Okay, so we're seeing some shifts in the traffic, and with this one, we know this is probably aided by traffic police. So, Milo Butler Highway not looking as bad as it normally does, and you'll only encounter that heavy traffic about midway between Fire Trail and Tawny Williams Darling Highway. But the traffic is now backed up along the westbound to that roundabout, so more than likely there's a traffic cop there, and that's creating a shift. Further up, though, at the six-legged roundabout, you're going to be seeing some heavy traffic from multiple directions, so keep that in mind if you're anywhere near there. Challenges at the six-legged roundabout. Over on Gladstone Road, still busy, especially northbound, just north of Fire Trail up to JFK Drive. Then we've got heavy traffic on Carmichael Road westbound to Coral Harbor Road and eastbound to Blue Hill Road. Blue Hill Road looking busy for you as well, especially north of Soldier Road. And the northbound lanes to Independence Drive. Independence Drive backed up westbound to that roundabout with Blue Hill. And Soldier Road also busy as you approach the intersection with East Street. East Street looking messy for you this morning. From just north of Sapodale Boulevard all the way up to Robinson Road, actually, and beyond Robinson Road, the northbound lanes this morning. Even at the East Street and Wolf Road intersection. So it's just a lot going on there. And Blue Hill Road, as you approach downtown, heavy traffic down there. So that's Shirley Street and Duke Street. You're going to be seeing that from East Street all the way to Blue Hill Road. And if you're heading northbound, of course you have to. That's one way there. You're not going to be moving much. So keep that in mind if you're heading into downtown. Further east, we've got Eastern Road, heavy traffic just east of Fox Hill, westbound up to Johnson Road. Bernard Road has been busy as schools are open in that area. And the intersection with Soldier, Village, Bernard, and Wolf has been challenging for weeks now, and it's very challenging today. Keep that in mind. So a lot going on out there. Good luck to you. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC Royal Bank, banking reimagined.
Experience holiday shopping joy with an RBC Rewards Visa Platinum credit card. Apply by December 31st and receive 20,000 welcome points. Enjoy multiple ways to redeem your RBC Rewards, including My Way Travel Credit, Cashback Credit, gift cards, and much more. Apply today at your nearest branch or rbc.com/Caribbean/Visa Rewards and experience holiday joy with RBC. Conditions apply.
Best rates, no delays. Best rates, no delays.
BTC gives more savings on the best fiber internet. It's super fast with super savings in every package. Compare and see for yourself. Enjoy up to 150 megabits per second plus 157 TV channels and unlimited home phone minutes for only $99.99.
Best rates, no delays.
Visit a BTC store to sign up for the best internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network. Conditions apply.
Wendy's and Coca-Cola are back with $45,000 worth of upgrades for you. Upgrade your premium lunch combo to a large or purchase a large salad and a Coke product and get your scratch card for a chance to win thousands of prizes instantly. You can win a PlayStation 5, plane tickets with spending money, weekend hotel stays, an iMac, iPads, iPhone 13, tool sets, washer and dryer set, and thousands more prizes. Visit Wendy's Facebook page for more details on the Upgrade My Life promotion. Rules and restrictions apply.
Do you worry that you or your loved ones may get COVID-19 and possibly die from it? Getting a COVID-19 vaccine can lower your risk of severe illness or death from COVID-19. The Johnson & Johnson vaccine is available, and you only need one shot. One and done and fully vaccinated for now. Talk to a healthcare professional about your concerns and about getting vaccinated. To be safe, continue to wash your hands, wear your face mask, practice physical distancing, and get vaccinated.
This message has been brought to you by the Ministry of Health and this radio station.
Hello? Yes, it's time. I know, a lot sooner than we thought. Well, that's thanks to those returns from my RF mutual funds. You know they have some of the best performing funds in the market. Yup, with what I've been earning, I can finally set a date for my product launch. Draft the paperwork, I'm on my way.
Reach your financial goals sooner with RF Mutual Funds. Sign up by November 29th for a chance to win $1,000. Find out more at rfgroup.com. RF, money at work.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
We hear you're leaving, that's okay. I thought our little wild time had just begun. I guess you kinda scared yourself, you turn and run. But if you have a change of heart, Ricky, don't lose that number. You don't wanna call nobody else. Send it off in a letter to yourself.
We are back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Stephen Hanna on this Friday morning. Stephen Hanna is back with us. You're back with us? Oh, okay, we're going to reconnect with him. Power outages in some parts of New Providence. And, yeah, okay. Just so you know, folks, pop-up sites for COVID-19 vaccinations taking place this weekend. They've got the Southwest Shopping Plaza, Carmichael Road. They're doing Pfizer first and second doses there. We've got Mall Marathon, Pfizer first and second doses, and J&J, also J&J at Southwest Plaza. We've got Fusion Superplex, Pfizer first and second doses, and J&J. And that's Saturday and Sunday. And the Fish Fry, Pfizer first and second doses, and J&J, Saturday and Sunday. So, hey, pop up and get your vaccine. Yeah? All right. Stephen, you're back with us. Yes? Is he muted? Okay, we'll get.
I didn't mute myself. I forget that Zoom automatically mutes you when you join.
Welcome back. All right.
Yes, despite BPL, we've returned.
Okay, all right. Great stuff. All right, so we've got a lot of great messages, and I do want to get to, we're going to really tick people off today because we're telling people we don't want to hear about how best to beat your children, no. And then we're going to talk about marital rape as a prime minister. So we're cruising.
I'm sure that somebody's going to tell you the best way to rape your wife. Because that's the dark world that we find ourselves in.
My word. Okay. Let's get to some of your messages, and then we'll get to those calls. This person says here, stop saying beat, say discipline. And everyone in the 70s and 80s got beaten. All of your pastors, politicians, nurses, doctors, etc. You two, stop
and
playing.
That's why we are where we are.
They say, stop playing dumb, you two. And you're right. That's exactly why we are where we are, because that was what we were taught to do to deal with the situation. You got to beat that spirit out of that person.
Right. A bunch of abused people who never dealt with their trauma running the country. Congratulations. You did it. You did it, Bahamas. Mm-hmm. You did it.
So are you guys saying that physical punishment is wrong?
Yes.
Yeah. Especially on a helpless, defenseless child.
No,
it's not the right way to do it. In general, but especially. Especially. And
Dwight, when Wayne Monroe said, "What is it that you want?" my thought was that it does not benefit. You know the whole saying where it's like an eye for an eye, leave the whole world blind, right? I'm one of those persons who not only want restorative justice, where it's like if somebody thief your TV and they go to jail, you still don't have a TV. And sometimes the police will confiscate the TV, use it as evidence that this person committed a crime, and not return your TV, right? So that's a whole different conversation. But you have lost your television and that person goes to jail. You are still at a loss, and all you're doing is punishing that person. I not only believe in restorative justice, though, I believe in transformative justice, where we need to leave the situation better than we met it. So not only do you get your TV back, but that person now finds themselves in a position where they no longer feel the need to break into somebody's house and steal the television, whether that's because they realize their actions affect somebody, whether they realize there's another way to make money, whatever it might be. But that is what I actually want to see. Now, of course, in this situation, you can't bring a person back to life, but there must be something that we could salvage from this moment. Right, that could make the Bahamas a better place, right? And it's and not just us having this conversation, but within the lives of the people who were directly affected by the moment. And it's I do not think that beating somebody with a stick or a cat and nine tail does anything except to express your personal frustration with what this person has done. It doesn't leave us in a better state, right? And so there must be something more that we can do when it comes to violence or crime of any sort besides just more violence. There has to be something that we could do to make the country better so we don't have a repeat of it, or people only moving in fear of this supreme violence that will befall them if they are caught doing it, and so they just become better criminals.
All right,
there has to be something.
Got a lot of messages here. Someone says, stop it. A minister cannot, in any case, call citizens stupid. It is arrogant and uncalled for. Use your vocabulary. Find another way to communicate your opinion. People don't forget how you speak to them. Stop it. Okay.
I mean, he also told y'all to kiss his hip 5 years ago, and now he's in power. So,
up old stories.
I mean, either people do forget or don't matter. But at the end of the day, it's let's not conflate a bunch of different issues where it's just because somebody says something means that it's not true. Let's look at
They're
the
getting
context.
distracted by that as opposed to paying attention to what he's saying.
And sometimes you have to use hard words to get people's attention.
Yeah.
Right? And the thing is, like, it's not like this is not verbal abuse. He's literally describing that what you're doing is not ignorant. You are aware that logically this doesn't make sense, but you choose to continue down that path. That is stupidity.
All right, here's another text. I was punished as a child, spanked in some instances, didn't kill me, didn't abuse me, just spanked me for a few seconds, and when I was extremely rebellious. Now, thriving professional with 3 kids and a nuclear family of my own, all well-adjusted college graduates starting their professional careers. There is a right and a wrong way to discipline.
I bet.
Okay. This one says, I disagree with you.
I encourage them to go talk to their child. Go talk to their 3 perfect college graduated children.
And
go talk
their relations.
And your wife.
The people who they're with. But anyway, I disagree with you, Dwight, that you are trying to put this on the public unfairly. The mother decided to date this no-good man. These women have to make better decisions. And please, Minister Monroe, be a minister and not a defense attorney. What? That we are trying to put this unfairly in the public? Well,
No,
she's a member of the public.
saying-
And we all are making bad decisions, everybody here. And we're seeing these things. We're seeing these things and knowing that these things are going on and turning our backs, closing our eyes to it often. And that's not
Right.
helping anybody.
And the thing is, right, what this person texted is exactly what I meant at the beginning of this, which is let's not excuse ourselves from the fact that but for our arms getting tired or our child drinking enough milk, that our child ain't the dead one and we ain't in front of the court. Because plenty parents have struck their children in anger because the child break a plate or was making too much noise or whatever the reason was, that logically an hour later they realized it really wasn't that big a deal, right? And many of you would have killed your child if your child had not been slightly more resilient than your arms. And so what we are saying is for the public to look at themselves and say, not look at this is a situation where it's like, this is a special pervert who did a horrible sex crime, but look at this person as, he is just like you.
Wow.
And you could have killed your child.
That's powerful.
But you didn't kill your child, and so you feel like you have the moral superiority over him. You also do this thing, and that is what we are pointing at the public.
That's disturbing. Oh, wow. Okay, this person says here, good morning, guys. It's no surprise we haven't heard a voice note apologizing for spreading these malicious rumors. I sit back and listen to your show and other shows on the station say what they would, but now the message has changed to child abuse and excessive child abuse, but this is a topic the masses don't want to touch. How interesting. Yeah, that's crazy.
Because they guilty of it too. Listen, I can promise you, there's a ton of pastors that will preach about homosexuality because they don't like man. But can they preach on loving their neighbor? Can they preach about feeding the poor? Can they preach about all these other things that Jesus asks of them specifically? Jesus leave and say, hey, clothe the naked, feed the hungry, take care of the widow and the children and the orphans. And yet, for some reason, we have pastors that will spend a month preaching about gayness when Jesus didn't ask you to preach about that.
I don't know what churches you're going to, Stephen Hammond.
No, but I'm just saying, it's easy for people to preach against a sin that they don't take part of. I'm asking the public, they're like this text is suggesting, you beat your child, and I want you to interrogate yourself as to why you are doing that, and if it is actually effective, or if your child is just become a more reserved person, become more repressed, whether your child is clearly abused, whether your child is resentful of you, ask yourself, is this the most effective means? Have I tried anything else? Am I being a lazy parent because I'm like, this is the easiest way to do it?
All right, we got a lot of messages here and calls. I want to read a couple more before we get back to the calls. This person says, I recall a pastor describing how he disciplined his kids. He said he never beat them in the heat of the moment, meaning he never disciplined them when he was angry. Before he disciplined them, he told them why they were being disciplined and that he loved them. If, and I say if, that is how we really disciplined or he really disciplined his kids, it would be very hard to abuse someone in those circumstances. It would hurt you with every strike. The anger is the problem. Okay.
Anger is definitely the problem.
This one says, we could get on Mr. Monroe as much as we want. I appreciate his plain speech. It's funny how we can't get the law, but we can get it sufficiently when he speaks to the enraged. Bahamians are smart enough for all the foolishness they want to do. We make a lot of excuses for people who don't want to do better. Yeah. And this one says here, Dwight thinks everyone is stupid, so not surprised he let that guy insult the average Bahamian for 5 minutes straight. Who guy are we talking about here?
The guy who kept saying that Bahamians don't understand law.
Oh.
Because once again, I reject what he said. I reject 3/4 of what he said.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And Dwight does not think everyone is stupid. Not everyone. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Dwight, don't think
Hi, good morning, Dwight and Stephen. How y'all doing?
Hi, good morning.
We're well.
Okay, and good morning to the nation. As it relates to a couple of points, Dwight, as it relates to the Minister of National Security, William Monroe, I just want to express that I'm very proud of him and the way he's handling this entire matter and the way he's been handling the Ministry of National Security and his official responsibilities and allowing for the Commissioner of Police to execute his duties. I appreciate the fact that he's an expert as an attorney, especially as it relates to criminal law, and the Bahamas will benefit from his expertise in terms of upgrading the laws, in terms of making more efficient the laws. I also appreciate his approach in seeking to not only address crime and ensure that the adequate punishment is in place. Okay. I appreciate that he's seeking to address the entire being, even at the prison system, in trying to upgrade that. Right?
Okay, Anton.
Mm-hmm. On the flip side, as it relates to little Bella, I think, and I repeat, Dwight, as I said initially, and I didn't want to participate in all of the speculation because I found it to be grossly irresponsible, especially before the official findings had been released. But I find it just as terrible as the minister stated, that an innocent child or any child, period, would have suffered that level of abuse to the point where ribs have been fractured, the internal organs have been damaged, and it resulted in the child's death. That is completely unacceptable. But I feel the little glimmer of light in this whole matter is if there is the right person in place who can position the case as best as possible to ensure that the punishment meets the crime, it is William Monroe. Thank you for the opportunity, Dwight.
Okay, thanks a lot. Let's take this call. Good morning, call. You're on the air. Are you there? Nope. Okay. Listen to these text messages as we get ready to go to the break. Dwight and Stephen, and they say Dr. Stephen Hanna. Oh, boy. Your assertion of corporal punishment as violent is unfair. Minister Wayne Monroe on the Haja Black Show did not include the proper administration of corporal punishment as violence. Corporal punishment by parents is done out of love with aims of correcting wrong actions of a child. It's done when verbal correction proves ineffective. Corporal punishment is not intended to hurt. It is you and Dr. Stephen who should be presenting proof of adverse results. Oh, okay. We'll do that. We'll find the people who will talk about it. But you know, in theory, yeah, of course, in theory. But maybe you don't know or see how it's done around here. Maybe you don't see it. And like the texter who talked about how. Hold on a second. The texter who said earlier how that one pastor who takes a break and talks to the child before administering corporal punishment. Do you think that's how it's done around here? Do you? Yeah, maybe in 1 or 2 out of every 10 homes. But around here, it's as soon as the thing happens, you're getting a big backhand slap and more. So stop it. Let's not pretend. You've seen it. I've seen little children barely able to walk. They touch something in a store, and the assault that's administered right there in front of all of us in the food store, wherever it is, unbelievable. Okay. Anyway,
my whole thing is like I'm not going to chance it and be like, oh yeah, no, there's a right way and it's done out of love. People do all sorts of things out of love and end up damaging and hurting people. So that means nothing. The line that you set must be a line, a definitive line, not one that moves all over the place, depending on how a person feels, how much their child could take, and, oh, he only crying for attention. Because you're saying out of love, and yeah, congratulations. Only the worst parent would admit that they hate their child. So every parent is going to say, yeah, man, when I jump kicked them in their mouth, that was out of love. That means nothing, right? And it's like, we need to divorce ourselves from believing that everything that happened to us during our formative years was right, because we don't want to admit that there is broken things in us.
Yeah.
Because that is really what you're running away from. You're running away from the fact that it's like, something happened to me and I am not the best person that I could be because of the seed, the grain of irritation this thing planted in me. And you just keep looking at it and saying, no, it ain't nothing wrong with it because I'm okay. I'm a good person. There's nothing wrong with me. And there is something wrong with you, but you don't want to look at it because you feel like it means that you're worthless. It doesn't mean that you're worthless. It means that you're not perfect. And this is the seed. This is where it started from.
This text here as we go to the break. Stephen Dwight got my donkey whipped. Like I lost the keys to heaven. I turned out well. I only dropped out of primary school, for which I got whipped. I dropped out of junior high, for which I got whipped. I dropped out of high school, for which I got whipped. I went back, still got promoted in classes. They finally ran out of trees and cows to make leather belts and shipped me to Florida, where my older brother threatened to shoot me with a gun in his hand. I graduated at 16 and went on to university and got higher degrees. I have 5 children with university degrees and 2 minors who will also get theirs. What I learned from the whippings, that they don't work, but the threat of death works. Ask my children.
I don't even know if that person is telling us that.
I don't know what's going on.
Proof?
But that is...
Is that proof of our point, or is that against our point? Because it is troubling.
Think about it while we take this break. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Hurricane season is here. If you're not prepared, it can really turn your life upside down. Fortunately, there's CG Atlantic General. Our people are here, ready to assist at a moment's notice. With protection like alternative accommodation for those who are displaced due to a storm, it's our priority to make sure you have what you need when you need it most. So when your life gets turned upside down, we can help to turn it around. CG Atlantic General. Good like that. Security and General Insurance Company Limited, trading as CG Atlantic General. Contact a CG Atlantic General broker today.
Experience holiday shopping joy with an RBC Rewards Visa Platinum credit card. Apply by December 31st and receive 20,000 welcome points. Enjoy multiple ways to redeem your RBC rewards, including My Way Travel Credit, Cashback Credit, gift cards, and much more. Apply today at your nearest branch or rbc.com/Caribbean/Visa Rewards and experience holiday joy with RBC. Conditions apply.
We are working to protect our country, our people, and our livelihoods so that we can move forward. The vaccine is safe. The vaccine is easy. The vaccine is essential for our recovery. If we want to rebuild our economy, if we want to get back to our jobs, if we want to get back to our lives, our families, we must do this together.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
The Water and Sewage Corporation advises its customers that the corporation will commence disconnection of all outstanding accounts beginning Monday, November 15th, 2021, in both New Providence and the Family Islands. Customers with outstanding accounts and financial agreements are requested to ensure that their accounts and financial agreements are brought up to date as soon as possible to avoid an interruption in service. Should you need to speak with a customer representative, please visit their Mall at Marathon location or the corporation's head office on University Boulevard between the hours of 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, or via local banks, the corporation's website, pay by phone by dialing 302-5630, or any Cash and Go, Omni Flash Cash, or Sun Cash locations.
What does Christmas mean to you? What about making a loved one's face smile bright or driving your own car? CIBC First Caribbean gives you up to 100% financing on auto loans. Apply online and let our auto financing take you places this Christmas. Visit CIBCFCIB.com for more information. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Well, it's not the hour. Besides, it's in the place that we come in with power. All hands in the air.
Wrap this up. Ain't no more working today. Close up shop. Everything goes that away.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Stephen Hanna on this Friday morning. The emergency powers, the emergency orders come to an end on the 13th.
Sorry, I had something on the stove.
Oh, you're cooking. But how will that change people's behavior over the weekend as we move into this phase of the pandemic? It's going to be interesting to see.
Dwight, I went to bed 8 o'clock last night.
Mm-hmm.
So
what does that mean?
I mean, it affected me left or right.
But did you go out much before all of this?
I wasn't home at 8 o'clock before the pandemic.
Well, we're all falling asleep early these days since the time change. But
No, it ain't the time change.
not it?
That was before the time change.
Okay.
So
you think this is you permanently now? You've changed.
I mean, I don't see a reason to go back out until we could congregate properly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't see me changing much of anything.
Okay.
'Cause what are they going out for?
I see. Well, don't forget your masks. Don't forget you still have to sanitize, right? There's still a lot of
Except
unvaccinated
if you're
people
eating or
here.
drinking, Dwight.
Right. Well, be
And
guided by that.
everywhere, and everywhere where people are, they are doing what? They're eating and drinking.
Well,
at all the places where they're congregating. So
Yeah.
it's like, congratulations, we did it, guys. We
you
did it.
sound so angry. This is. We can do this. Don't you think we can do this? We can function without the curfew.
Oh yeah, the
No?
curfew isn't going to change anything.
Okay.
I don't think that. I mean, it's a cultural issue where it's like, we've developed the let's see if we could get away with it.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of people like that, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Have you not noticed suddenly there were a bunch of buildings and businesses that had green tarp on freshly erected chain link fence around their building. And there was loud music coming from the building, but you couldn't see what was going on. It was almost as though they were hiding something. And now I've noticed several of them have removed the green tarp because the people can go inside now and they're using it as a parking lot again.
Well. Hey, the phone lines are lit up, and we got a lot of these text messages to get through really quickly. Somebody says here, a certain radio host insults people every day. I don't know what they're talking about, which is a form of abuse. So by your standard, I'm calling you out. But your media report lied when y'all reported that people only got outraged because they thought someone was covering up sexual assault. Stop it, media. I don't know what's happening with you.
You're conflating.
This person is very confused. But several things. It is not a lie. You can see it that people, and I think you put it very well, Stephen, that people aren't talking about this because this could have easily happened to them, possibly.
Yeah, and they don't see it as a big deal.
Yeah. But that is the truth. And the minister's talking about it too. We all see it. The tone has changed. The story has shifted now. And people aren't as outraged as they were on Monday. And if you feel you're being abused by any radio host, it is very unlike being the child of a parent who's abusive or in an abusive relationship, right? Where you are legally bound to the person. You could just change the channel unless you like being abused. Which means you also need some help.
What type of abuse it is, because you realize that you have a means to do something about it. Like as an adult human being, and this is what makes it different from child abuse, you have the means of saying, wow, not only am I going to turn this off, but this person levied these words against me, and I feel like it is an assault, and I'm going to report it. To Urker, like
unless they called your name, I really don't know.
No, I'm just saying, like, because they might say, "Oh, the language this person used is inappropriate, is offensive to good-minded civil people."
Mm-hmm.
You can report that to Urker.
Yes.
There are options for you as an adult. Let's not conflate it and make it sound like because you want to scream and curse at your child and tell them that they're stupid, that it's the same thing as me, an adult, telling you, an adult, that you're stupid. Because you could easily say, well, no, I'm not stupid. I don't appreciate you saying that. Why would you say that? And we could reason and have a conversation.
Yeah.
Your child can't do that because you could slap them.
Right. This text here, I don't buy the public outrage over this case because Bahamians love inflicting violence on children, generally speaking, culturally. You guys are 100% on point. This one says here, the minister needs to use better words. He is in leadership and a QC. Stop. Okay.
These are the words he's always used. It's just that at this moment, some persons don't like him using it because it kind of applies to them. But when he talking about the other side, if he talking with somebody that ain't you, it's okay.
This text here, I'm not sure where this one is coming from. It's not directly related to anything we're talking about, but okay. I personally know pastors who tell me God said I must give myself to him, and I ran like heck. That's why I don't go to church anymore. I don't trust no pastors. Okay.
That's wild, bro.
Dwight, I love your show and your laugh. Wow. Now, these little children, too rude. I say, lick them with the belt. I had gotten beaten and get slapped when I was small, and it ain't killed me. Put the belt on them, bae.
You know, I just told somebody, beaten never killed nobody, except for the people that are killed.
Yeah. Wow.
Congratulations. Your parents only assaulted you. They only committed attempted murder. They didn't commit murder. You must be very proud.
This person says, it's funny how people are defending hitting children. Do you know men were allowed to discipline their wives? Laws were actually passed to dictate the size stick you could hit your wife with. Perhaps they should bring that back so men can discipline their wives with love. On a side note, they're being sarcastic.
I wouldn't even joke with that
I'm
because
sure they're being sarcastic. But you think someone's saying, yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
For the next 3 shows, there will be callers arguing whether or not that's a good idea.
Oh, boy. They go on to say, on a side note, if you beat an animal like how we discipline children, you could go to jail.
Yeah.
I have no proof until I conduct a study specifically on Bahamians, but I believe we are so open and accepting to violence because it was inflicted on us as children as resolution by the parents, out primary teachers, to a problem, something we did that they did not like. They're saying our primary teachers, yes. Even the threat of it as well. I theorize that this eventually leads the brain to believe that when someone does something we don't like in general, violence is a reasonable and responsible resolution. Yeah.
I don't know if you theorize.
You don't need a study.
Pretty straightforward.
That's well known.
Cause and effect, man.
You all are speaking to extremes, talking about drop kicking and other extreme cases. Do you honestly believe that every parent is out there drop kicking?
No, because some of y'all
every
can't
child?
jump. Some of y'all too fat to jump kick somebody. How about that?
Not that now. They can say we've been calling them stupid, and now talking about this. No, don't do that. We're gonna get in big trouble.
That's a statistical
Oh dear.
fact.
Oh dear Lord.
That there are persons who are we have an overweight society. Right?
Please.
Anyway,
please, don't do
point
that.
is-
Let me continue their text. Oh
Go
my
ahead.
gosh. They're like, this is it. We're done with that show. Okay.
Don't worry.
Many parents believe.
I believe so.
Many parents believe that like you, that they were bested. Is it supposed to be beaten? And that they won't hit their children. To always speak in the extreme generalities like you do adds emphasis to your flawed arguments. But of the 400,000 people in the Bahamas, are you somehow the only right-thinking person? Please get off your high horse and stop insulting parents who are trying to do things the right way.
Right. I am not the only person out of 400,000. If you believe that I am the only person that thinks the way I think, then you are in a very closed-minded box. I have no problem with parents trying to do what is best for their child. They should try to do what is best for their child. My issue is, are you open to accepting that perhaps what you're doing isn't what's best for your child? It's just what you know. And it's like, if the only thing you know how to cook is chicken and fries, it doesn't mean that's the best meal for a child to grow up on. It's just what you know. And if somebody says, well, have you ever tried giving them fruits? They might like fruits. Have you tried to? And you say, you're just trying to confuse me, you on your high horse selling your vegetables. I'm offering a suggestion that perhaps eating fried chicken every day isn't the best way to go about life. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
What are you saying? Are you suggesting that we have to hit every child? Because even when they're saying that, when somebody said, these children too rude, the thought that came in my mind is, 20 years ago, the idea of autism was so far removed from the Bahamas' conscience or consciousness that every child that wasn't physically like presenting as like they have Down syndrome was considered rude. Nobody was like, this child is somewhere on the spectrum, because nobody had heard about the spectrum, right? And that's 20 years ago. That's when I was in school. Nobody was saying, they would say, this child is a little slow, or this child retarded, or this child have Down syndrome. But anything beyond that, where the child didn't physically present with anything, they were going to say this child is just rude and you need to beat the demon out of it.
Yeah.
And we now know that that is not how it works. That is not helpful. And all I'm saying is, think about how many times you beat a child with no effect because you thought that that was the best way, because that's the only way that you know. And I'm saying, let's look at a different way.
We got, let me read this text as we go. You're right, Dwight. Stephen shouldn't say that, so I will. We are big over here, man. It's a huge, massive health hazard. We need to eat better in smaller portions. And for and exercise. Most of our population is huge, and we need to fix it. Wow. Okay. We've stepped on every single toe this morning. Steve, I know you have to run. Thank you very much.
Wait, can I say tomorrow's my mother's birthday?
Oh, wow.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Stephen's mother. Hope you have a wonderful day.
There you go.
All right.
Right.
Thanks a lot,
That's
Stephen.
it.
I'll be back with the Bahamas COVID vaccination raffle and Morning Then Business after the news. Stay with us.
To win a relay, each team member must do his or her part in the race. If one member drops the baton, it impacts all of us. Across all ages, genders, abilities, nationalities, cultures, or religions, we are all on the same team, and we all have a role to play in getting to the finish line to win the race against COVID-19. Don't drop the baton on safety. Wear your mask over your mouth and nose. Keep at least 3 feet distance from others. Do not touch your face. And wash or sanitize your hands often. Together, we will win. This message is brought to you by the PAHO WHO Bahamas and Turks and Caicos Country Office, the Ministry of Health, and the Healthy Bahamas Coalition.
Technology makes every day in life just a little bit easier. Whether it's for joy, productivity, or creativity, Custom Computers has all the latest gadgets to conquer any obstacle. Imagine automating mundane tasks with tech and living a freer, richer lifestyle, all while staying on top of your goals. The path to freedom could fit in the palm of your hand. Discover tomorrow's technology today at Custom Computers on Patton Street, Cable Beach, and Caves Village through the Blake Road entrance.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
And we're back here with Morning Blend, and it's time for the Bahamas COVID vaccination raffle drawing for today. 2 great prizes to give away, and there will be 2 happy winners when we announce these names. Remember, you can take part in the raffle. All you have to do is be vaccinated, be fully vaccinated, or even partially vaccinated, and then register at vaxbahamas.com, VAXbahamas.com, and it takes just a couple minutes, and you'll be registered, and you could win. Today, we're giving away 2 great prizes. A case of Guinness, just in time for the weekend. A case of Guinness. And Comfort Suites 2-night stay. A Comfort Suites 2-night stay. Oh, yeah, wonderful stuff. And again, our amazing partners with the U.S. Embassy making this all happen with these great prizes from these wonderful sponsors. And let's give away that case of Guinness. Case of Guinness first. Case of Guinness. All right. The winner of the case of Guinness this morning. I hope I pronounced this right. Levio, Levio Brennan. Levio Brennan. You've won a case of Guinness. Hope you enjoy that. Levio Brennan. BraYnen. You've won that case of Guinness. Congratulations. Hope you enjoy that. U.S. Embassy will be in contact with you, tell you how you can collect your prize. And then the Comfort Suites 2-night stay. The winner of the Comfort Suites 2-night stay, Marcus Gardner. Marcus Gardner. You've won the Comfort Suites 2-night stay. That's going to be wonderful stuff there. Marcus Gardner, Comfort Suites 2-night stay. Congratulations. Congratulations to both of our winners this morning. And again, I could be calling your name next week, every day next week. VaxBahamas.com. Just register there. And good luck. Good luck. That's the Bahamas COVID vaccination raffle. Remember now, as we said earlier, there are pop-ups all over at the malls and at the fish fry this weekend. So get vaccinated. All right, time for Morning Blend Business.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Friday, November 12th, 2021. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. And I'm Dwight Strachan. This morning, we're going to be talking about pushing your business to the next level. In fact, Push is the name of a hybrid seminar that is set for tomorrow, and it's being put on by the Y Sales Network. And to tell us all about this, we're very pleased to welcome the CEO of Y Sales Network, Joyce Johnson, and our very own Simone Bowe, the Limitless Life Leadership Strategist and Coach. Simone Bowe, welcome back. Joyce Johnson, welcome to the show. Did we lose them? Nope, we had them and then we lost them. Okay, we're going to sort that out. Yeah, let's take that break, and then when we come back, we'll reconnect with Simone and Joyce and talk about this Push Your Business to the Next Level seminar. A lot of people need to hear this, especially entrepreneurs, and especially since the Y Sales Network focuses on women in entrepreneurship. We're going to get to them in just a break. Let's take that break and be back with Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Beulah, gal, can you believe this? We are now the patrol queens of the neighborhood.
We now large and in charge. So we need to check out what's going on in everybody's yard. What about that gun that we know that Junior and his homeboys just ran out? Can we report that too?
Of course we can.
But we could be in deep trouble if they find out.
We need to report what we see, Beulah. When you call Crime Stoppers, they just answer your call in Miami.
So then we can report everything? Guns, where they hiding the drugs, who shoot who part of which gang, or who disturbing the peace with the loud music and the motorcycles.
Then our neighborhood will be the best in the Bahamas, and everybody gonna want to come live here. And then our house price will go up, gal.
So what we waiting on? What's the number?
If you see something, say something. Let us all pitch in and stop the crime before it's your time. Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands. Or text us through the Crack Crime Bahamas app. Stop the crime before it's your time.
At Fidelity, the holidays are all about family, spending time with loved ones, and being thankful for the little things in life. Worrying about bills should be the last thing on your mind, especially during the holidays. Let Fidelity help you get your bills under control. Fidelity can also get you started with a real savings plan that actually pays you interest. The only thing you need to think about is what you will do with the savings in your pocket this Christmas. Now that's what I'm talking about. Fidelity Bank is here for you this holiday season because you are family, and family is important to us.
COVID-19 doesn't take holidays off, and neither should you. We can celebrate the holiday season while continuing to follow all public health protocols and regulations. We must also remember to wash our hands and sanitize frequently. Wear our masks, cough and sneeze into our elbows, disinfect items brought into our homes, stay at least 3 feet away from others in public, and remain at home when we're feeling unwell. Let's have a happy and healthy holiday.
This message brought to you by Bahamas Ministry of Health in conjunction with Guardian Radio.
This traffic report is brought to you by Shield Insurance and Prudential Loss Adjusters.
Final look at traffic this morning, and we're happy to see there's been some assistance for Samalabala Highway. They're basically all out of there. Yeah, you've got a minor hold-up at Tony's Million Dollar West Lane going into the roundabout there, but that soon will dissipate too. Still got a few cars trying to get out Gladstone Road at this point, and even Carmichael Road. Not bad. Attempting to get out there onto Blue Hill Road and over the hill there into the Tony's Million Dollar roundabout. Southbound traffic on E Street is loaded from the deep south, crossing over Soldier Road and getting into the Independence Drive roundabout. And the remainder of the morning look is out there. Marathon Road stacked going into Wolf Road. Soldier Road stacked going into the intersection of Soldier Village and Burnett Road. And you got your Burnett Road traffic that's gradually getting out of there as well. Eastern Road still hung up. Lots of traffic still leaving Eastern Road. Lots of traffic still leaving Eastern Road at this time. And the ride coming in along West Bay Street, not bad at all. Those are your heftiest spots for the morning commute. And given another 30 minutes or so, they too will dissipate and everything will be over. Then we'll be in for today's activity. Now, Fridays are notorious for rough traffic, meaning lots of traffic in the street. Now, we do expect to see that later on. But as of now, the morning commute is basically over. This National Traffic Report serves a Garden of Eden where you're able to enjoy the best boiler stew on the island. Delicious Bahamian breakfast from 7:30 every morning, served with grits or Johnny K. Today, peas and grits with snapper and 2 sides for lunches on the menu. Call them at 819-5574 for easy pickup directions and orders. That's 819-5574. With your Riders Guy, look at traffic in real time. I'm VAAA.
Michael was in a horrible car accident. Prudential Loss Adjusters managed his claim and got him the settlement he deserved. Sierra's roof received hurricane damage. Thanks to Prudential, she and her kids are happy with their claim settlement. Tammy fractured her ankle in a slip and fall. Prudential saved her time, money, and peace of mind. Prudential Loss Adjusters are here for you whenever a tragedy strikes. Call 322-4026 now.
Don't wait for disaster to strike. This hurricane season, be ready. Protect your home with an affordable and comprehensive home insurance policy from Shield Insurance. You can't control what nature blows your way, but with Shield Insurance, you can rest easy as you ride out the storm. Protect your largest and most valuable investment. Don't take a chance. Put your home in our hands.
Shield Insurance agents and brokers in Nassau call 356-7202 or Freeport 352-5945.
And we're back here with Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong with you. And we have them now, Simone Bowe and Joyce Johnson. Ladies, good morning. Welcome. Are we muted? Yes, we're muted. Unmute yourselves and welcome to the show. There we go. Good morning. Good morning. All right, we finally sorted that out. All right, so Simone Bowe and Joyce Johnson, welcome. Great to have you with us. We'll get into all the details about the seminar in just a bit. But Joyce Johnson, tell us about Wise Sales Network. What exactly is Wise Sales Network? Joyce, can you hear us? Okay, Simone. Maybe you can. Yeah, and maybe you can give us some insight into what Wise Sales Network is and what's going to be happening this weekend.
Absolutely. Well, Wise Sales Network is a global sales training organization, and Joyce is a master sales trainer based in Houston, Texas. And she actually has some linkages here. She works on projects here in the Bahamas. And funnily enough, we met online in the way of this whole virtual world today. Mm-hmm. And I was doing this entrepreneurship workshop that I would do every November. I didn't do it last year, of course, understandably. But November 19th actually is celebrated as Women's Entrepreneurship Day.
Ah, okay.
And so traditionally I've tried to offer some sort of seminar or experience for people who are in business and particularly women. Mm-hmm. And so when I connected with Joyce and she talked about what she does, we looked at how could we collaborate and actually make this beneficial to local entrepreneurs and professionals here in New Providence. Mm-hmm. And of course, sales is something that even for me, I struggle with. It's a mindset thing, right? Mm-hmm. When you think of salespeople, you think of people sometimes negatively. You think of them as pushy, or aggressive. Yeah. Yes, mm-hmm. Like they don't let you go. They don't do all of that stuff. So this was really a great collaboration in our minds because especially now, it's very competitive. A lot of people have had to get into entrepreneurship. So how do you get yourself to stand out? How do you go after the client? You can't be passive in this market.
Yeah.
You have to break out of some comfort zones of, I don't want to be online. I don't want to pivot. I don't want to take online payments. Like all of these things that we resist.
Yes.
In the entrepreneurship space is things that we have to embrace now. in order to be successful.
You've got to humble yourself and learn how to take no without taking it personally.
Exactly.
It's very challenging. All right, so I want to ask you about this before we get deeper into it. So you mentioned it, November 19th, Women's Entrepreneurship Day. And I know a lot of people are going to be saying, hey, well, being an entrepreneur is challenging all by itself. Why do we have to further narrow it down into men and women? Why is it necessary to focus at some point at women entrepreneurs, as opposed to everybody, just in general?
And you know what? I tend to agree with that mindset because I do find that we segregate sometimes too much. But I believe that the vision of the founder, Wendy Diamond, of Women's Entrepreneurship Day, and she pushed that, is because of, in some territories in the world, there is marginalization for women. Women getting into business or being able to access funding. That's still a reality for people in many parts of the world. And so she wanted to really bring that focus on how women contribute to the entrepreneurship space and to consumerism, because as you know, there are so many things that target women because women spend money. Women put their effort into things that they believe in, and that's not to say that men don't, but the numbers show that women are very strong contributors to the economy.
Absolutely.
And we want to get, and her pitch also is, how can we get women and girls out of poverty and the struggles that you would see, as I said, in many parts of the world. You know, we are really very fortunate on this side of the world, as even though we have our challenges and we have our struggles, there are other parts of the world where it's really, really difficult for men, for women, for children. And we have to do our part to bring awareness and then to also bring change.
Yeah. All right. So let me know when we get Joyce in there. Oh, Joyce is in now. Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning, Joyce Johnson. Great to have you with us. All right. So tell us a little more about the Y Sales Network and how you go about empowering business leaders, especially entrepreneurs.
Well, Y Sales Network is a global sales training organization. I think what I was just hearing from Simone is her sharing part of my vision, that I'm so passionate about sales because sales is the only profession that no matter what your background is, your education, your training, if you're a lawyer, communications teacher, nurse, you can go into a sales job. If you're a plumber, an AC guy, what have you, you can go into a farmer can go into a sales job because there's a market and a vertical market. So what we do is we create content to, as I say, inform, educate, and engage individuals around sales and the sales process.
Oh, wow. All right. So a lot of people believe they can't do it. This is not something they are good at. Is that accurate? Are there certain people who are going to be better salespeople, or can everyone be a salesperson?
Everyone can be a salesperson if they follow the sales process. Now, you do have to learn how to do small talk, which some people are uncomfortable with, and actually building a rapport. But if you think about sales as relationship building, I think most of us are pretty strong at that. My first book, Why Sales for College Students, because I love college students. They're some of my favorite people in the world. And what I do is help prepare them to go from college into the workplace. So in that book, what I did was I explained to them how their first sales took place, right? They wanted to go to a concert. They knew their moms or dads would say no. So they built up all their data. They went to their mom or dad and they said, hey, mom, dad, I want to go to this concert. And you know what? Simone's mom's already said it's okay. Simone's dad's going to pick us up. Her cousin's going to drop us off. I promise I'm going to be well behaved and there's no alcohol and everything that you have to do to pitch. And then you go back and close your mom out and say, so can I go?
Wow. That is exactly how it works. Wow. Okay. So we all have it in us. We all have it in us.
That's your first sale.
Yeah. Yeah. Excellent stuff. All right. So, and we were talking about it earlier and about focusing on women entrepreneurs and men entrepreneurs. Are there some differences that people need to keep in mind? Things that might not necessarily work for you if you're a woman as opposed to a man?
Absolutely. I've been in corporate sales for over 20 years. I've sold on behalf of some of the largest companies in the world to some of the largest companies in the world. And I'll tell you, many days I've been the only woman in the room and the only person of color in the room. And so sometimes it takes a little bit more for us to be able to build those relationships and rapport, make that connection. But what we are really, as women, what we're really strong at doing is really being organized and moving things from one step to the other. So if you think about a mom who has a kid and the husband, everyone getting out the door and the lunches and what have you, and she's pushing everything out the door, right? So that's where our strength lies. And so we have to understand where our strengths are and use that to our benefit when we're selling.
Wow. Boy.
As women.
Yeah. All right. So what are some things that salespeople need to keep in mind, whether you're a man or a woman? You're an entrepreneur, you are trying to promote your business. And of course, everybody has to do some sales. If you are, this is your small business. What do you need to do and not do?
Well, first thing, I think we spend too much time promoting our business and not selling our business.
Wow.
Right?
All right. What's the difference?
That there is a difference. Promoting my business is informing you that it's taking place. Selling my business is educating you on what I do, understanding how I serve you and the value that I bring to you, and then asking you to be my customer and to buy what I have to sell.
Okay, give us some examples.
The biggest gap, the biggest thing, one thing that everyone needs to understand and start doing is just simply asking for the business. Even in a lot of promotions of businesses, we're giving information and things, but we're not asking for the business. We put a lot of content out there for individuals, we're educating them. And then when we finally go and ask for the business, when I'm asking people to do something, then my marketing promotion is very intentional towards that. And so we start businesses because we have a hobby, we want to monetize, we want to solve a problem, or we just want to be a business owner. So we create a business plan that has operation strategy, promotion strategy, social media strategy these days, marketing, but we leave out our sales strategy.
Wow.
And we have to have a sales strategy.
Yeah. Let's talk some more about that. What are some of the things that you have to include in that sales strategy?
Well, first of all, you got to start with a target. I coach entrepreneurs and small business owners on how to win in sales. It's my platform that I've created, and it's an online training. And then they come and spend a day and a half with me. And you have to have a forecast. You have to know what your number is, what you want to hit, what you need to accomplish, and why. Right? And once you do that, then you need to put that out there and come back into it. What is it going to take for you to meet that dollar? If it's $500,000 a year, $1 million, 2 million, 10, you can't hit a target that doesn't exist. And when I ask a lot of business owners, what's your target for next year? They can't tell me.
Right. Wow.
Someone just asked me a couple of days ago, Joyce, what is your target for your sales training program? I said to sell 285 packages next year.
Yeah. Simone, we see that here all the time. Hey, people, I don't even know if they talk like that. Why do you think that is? Why don't people? Is it just trying to make it to the next day type thing, or why aren't we planning ahead like that?
Because sometimes you don't know what you don't know, right? And like I said, when you go into business, especially when you're looking to monetize a hobby that you have, or even just be a business owner, a lot of times, unless you are a generational business person, even sometimes then, right? We don't plan to exceed our goals for the next year. One of the guys in my training program last Friday, he's been doing the same amount of business every year, and he hasn't done anything to push his team. They didn't have a forecast, a target. So we talked about having what I call, what we talk about in corporate as stretch goals, right? Let's stretch ourselves. If we've been at the same target year after year, let's be purposeful and intentful in planning to exceed that by 25%, even if it's 10% or what have you, the following year.
How
we continue with growth.
I would agree with that. I think a lot of it, Dwight, is knowledge and knowing what to do. Sometimes we fall into entrepreneurship, as Joyce said. Sometimes it's a necessity, or sometimes we're passionate about something and we get into it and we're good at that thing, but all of the supporting techniques and tools that you need to really build that business, either you don't know, you don't have, or you don't have time for. And so,
absolutely.
And
you
so
may
I
have to
think a lot of-
outsource it, right? You may have to outsource your sales. And so that's another thing I coach entrepreneurs on. It's just understanding what the sales process is and funnel management and how to lead salespeople, because again, you don't know what you don't know. But what you do need to be very intentional on is inspecting what you expect. And a lot of people, we want to have big businesses, but we don't do things that big businesses do. So we have to start thinking like big business. So what I do is I take, my 20 plus years working for some of the largest companies in the world and how we've built our brands and our sales teams. And I coach and teach entrepreneurs and small business owners that concept.
Inspecting what you expect. That is very powerful. Wow. All right. So what impact has the pandemic had, though, on how things were done? Has it changed how we should approach things, how we have approached things from a selling your business perspective?
I think Simone, I've talked about this too. There's the sales process is the same, right? That hasn't changed. But there's a certain vulnerability that comes with communicating with people and talking to them. And so we have to have a little bit more patience than we've had in the past. The sale may not close as fast as it normally has. The first conversation you have with a customer now may just be a wellness call, right? And we have to, which is great, Joe, because it allows us to build rapport and true connection with them. So we have to realize that the sale may not be as fast. The sales cycle may be extended during this time. But I think the result of that will have a stronger relationship with your customer. You'll have a stronger repeat of business, and you'll have a stronger referral base.
Yeah, that really does sound very good. All right, so let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to get into the seminar and what we can expect tomorrow. We're going to get into that with Joyce Johnson with Why Sales Network and Simone Bowe, the Limitless Life Leadership Strategist and Coach. We're going to talk about that in Morning Blend Business returns after this break.
That's the sound of a bite-sized payment I made on my new laptop.
Can I make a bite-sized payment on this amazing vacation?
Yes, with Select Pay. Now my big-ticket credit card purchases are more manageable with flexible bite-sized payments over 3, 6, 9, or 12 months at a lower interest rate. Scotia Select Pay allows me to better plan my expenses over time. The best part? No credit checks or financing application. Visit bs.scotiabank.com. Conditions apply.
Cheney's Chesapeake Road Christmas Wonderland is open under the Big Tent. Get your Christmas trees in pink, frosted, green, or white in a variety of sizes. Musical Christmas LED and laser lights, a large variety of tree ornaments, lighted angels and Santa tree toppers, bright and lively colored Christmas balls in all sizes, garlands, wreaths, tree skirts, stockings, and lots more. Add flowers, picks, and decorative mesh to brighten up your home or office this holiday season. And don't forget the toys at Cheney's Chesapeake Road. Check our selections online at www.cheney's.com.
It's time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. The Bahamas is refocusing development around the sustainable development goals outlined in the Paris Agreement, International Treaty on Climate Change. That's according to Prime Minister Philip Davis. He told investors that the government will ensure that projects will no longer be unnecessarily delayed by red tape. Prime Minister Davis delivered the keynote address at the 10th Annual Caribbean Hotel Investment Conference and Operations Summit, known as CHICOS. He implored investors in the room to partner with the government to carry out development throughout the country. As parliamentarians prepare to debate the supplementary budget in the House next week, Economic Affairs Minister Michael Alkitis says that there is no plan for an increase in the level of borrowing. The Mills administration budgeted nearly $1 billion of borrowing during this fiscal year, pushing the national debt closer to $11 billion. But Alkitis saying that public debt levels in the Bahamas have increased from 61% in 2018-2019 to over 100% currently, and that this has had a negative impact on the credit rating and the nation's sovereign debt rating. He says what this means is that our borrowing costs have increased, and this diverts government funds from other programs that are very important to servicing the debt. Meanwhile, Bahama continues to be concerned about the level 4 travel advisory rating imposed on the country by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, with the mega resort's president, Graham Davis, saying that he is confident the rating will be lowered sooner rather than later, given the progress the country is making in lowering its COVID-19 positivity rate and the increasing number of people becoming vaccinated. Davis also spoke at Chico's, and says that Bahama has seen a surge in visitor numbers since the summer. And Chief Counselor with Long Island, Ian Knowles, saying that residents and business owners feel helpless after the final bank on that island pulled out earlier this year. Scotiabank closed 5 branches in the Family Islands, including Long Island, to consolidate those services at its New Providence locations, citing lower transaction volumes and a shift in customer behavior, which became pronounced during the COVID-19 pandemic. Knowles says it is particularly frustrating and leading to a slow breath for many businesses. You can read more on these stories in today's Guardian business section. Overseas, embattled Japanese technology conglomerate Toshiba saying today it is restructuring to improve its competitiveness, spinning off its energy infrastructure and computer devices businesses. The energy infrastructure spinoff will include Tokyo-based Toshiba Corp's nuclear power operations, including the decommissioning efforts at the nuclear plant in Fukushima that suffered meltdowns after an earthquake and tsunami in March 2011. The energy business will also include the company's sustainable energy and battery businesses. Its annual sales total 2 trillion yen, or $18 billion. The other spin-off and standalone company encompasses Toshiba's computer devices and storage operations, with annual sales of 870 billion yen, or $7.6 billion. Toshiba will remain a third independent company holding what's left, such as Flash Memory Company and Toshiba Tech Corp, which makes office equipment. And British-Swedish pharmaceutical company AstraZeneca saying today that it will start to book a modest profit from its coronavirus vaccine as it moves away from the non-profit model it has operated during the pandemic. In a third quarter update, the company said it's now expecting to progressively transition the vaccine to modestly as new orders are received. It said the limited profits from the vaccine in the fourth quarter will offset costs related to its antibody cocktail developed to prevent and treat COVID-19. Until now, AstraZeneca said it would provide the vaccine at cost, around $2 to $3 for the duration of the pandemic, following an agreement with the University of Oxford, which developed the vaccine. Other COVID-19 vaccine producers, such as Pfizer and Moderna, have been booking heavy profits on their shots all along. AstraZeneca confirmed Friday that it will not be making any coronavirus vaccine profits from developing countries. The change coming as AstraZeneca unveiled plans to set up a separate arm for vaccines and antibody treatments that focus on COVID-19. It marks the fact that AstraZeneca was only a minor player in the provision of vaccines before the pandemic. In your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX. From Thursday, your market movers, Cable Bahamas moving 7,250 shares, unchanged at $3.09. Calving 500, unchanged at $8. Colina Holdings moving 300, closing at $6.60, unchanged. Fidelity Bank moving 12,250, down 1 cent to $14.62. Consolidated Water up 3 cents to $2.28. Emira Incorporated down 19 cents to $11.35. The BISX All Share Index closing at 2,109.74, down 0.13. That's your Market Watch. And that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And we're back with Morning Blend Business. Dwight Strachan talking with Joyce Johnson with Y Sales Network and Simone Bowe, strategist and life coach. And we're talking about Push Your Business to the Next Level. It's a hybrid seminar. It's going to be held tomorrow. Okay, so tell us about this event tomorrow. What can we expect and who needs to know this?
As mentioned, we have Joyce, who will be talking about how to master this sales thing and how to come up with a sales strategy for entrepreneurs. And as mentioned, this isn't just for entrepreneurs, even though that's our main target. It's also beneficial for people who are in corporate, people who want to really go to the next level in their pitch, in their pitching ideas and proposals and being more impactful in their organization. Sales transcends many professions. And so even though we're focusing on entrepreneurs and we want those micro entrepreneurs and those small business owners, something that Joyce said is key. We have to sell our business. We have to close the sale. We can't just put information out there and expect people to know what we want them to do. Putting out a not going to drive people to where you want them to be, which is to purchase your product or your service. You have to be able to share, what is it, the value that I'm bringing? Why do you need what I'm selling? And then ask them, is this something that you want for now? Right? And not being afraid to put yourself out there and do that, not being afraid to actually ask for the business. And those are the things that we are sometimes afraid of. So I'll be sharing on the mindset aspect of this, where, how do you communicate your value with confidence? How do you get past your own head that the habits?
Yeah. I'm wondering, now that you said that, does it make a difference if you are in a small...
that may be stopping you.
Right.
And also I talked about her a bit more. Kim Lott gave us an inspirational charge also from Houston, Texas, and she can share more about her and her Faith Over Fear book. Joyce?
Yeah, so Kim wrote a book, From Fear to Faith, and it's amazing because what she talks about is just how a lot of us don't move forward out of fear, and we say that we have faith in things in ourselves and in the higher being, but we get so afraid and so locked up in fear that we don't push forward. So I think what's great about this is that Kim is going to open up with what I call a heart note and really get them, there. And then Simone's going to come in, talk to them about mindset, and I'll close it out on what I do, closing business.
Right.
And so I'll close it out. But also Cable Bahamas has come aboard as a sponsor, and we're hosting a pitch contest. So if someone wants to come in and pitch their business, they'll have an opportunity to win a laptop.
Wonderful. Nice. So what are you going to be looking for specifically with that?
Well, I think some of if they can take away some of the tips that they've learned from the day, and just really looking for them to be able to, give their elevator pitch, brief elevator pitch their business and close it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sounds good. All right. So while Simone was talking, it hit me, going back to what you said, Joyce, in selling your business. Do you find that it is more challenging or less challenging in a small town, small country type environment? When you know more of the people around you, you're closer to the players, does it make it more challenging for you as an entrepreneur?
No, I don't think, you can be in a small town, but, once you're online, understand you have a global business. find a way to extend your services outside of your immediate network. I actually think it's could be easier in a small town just because you already know everyone, right? I used to have a guy on my sales team. He was out of Louisiana. He lived in, and I would go there, and this guy closed more business at the gym and a barbershop than the law allows. So, but that's where he closed his business and made his network and his connections, in that small town. So, as Simone says, I think it's about mindset. And it's about it's about mindset and then it's skills. So, as Simone talks about the mindset and getting your mind in the right space and open and releasing that fear that Kim talks about, so you can go and close business. Don't let all these reasons and excuses and analogies stop you.
Yeah. If you have any questions, folks, give us a call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Got a text here. And yes, you're celebrating women in entrepreneurship, but somebody's asking, do you only want women to pitch their businesses, or can you be anyone? Is it open to anybody? And can anyone attend the seminar?
Anyone can attend.
Yeah, we want both because it's important for us as entrepreneurs too to understand that you need a support system. And it's good to come in sessions like this so that you could hear what other people are doing. You can share best practices. You can recognize that you're not alone. Sometimes you feel like you're just out there struggling and you realize, well, okay, somebody else has the same challenge. What could we do to strategize and come up with ideas that I can turn my business around or turn this behavior or habit around that of my own that may be holding me back. And then also to network. I think it's so important for entrepreneurs, and especially in a small environment, for us to be able to collaborate with each other. We need to support each other in business. So when you come out to sessions like this, and as Joyce mentioned, it's about building rapport. So many times we go to events, we want to sit with the people we know, we want to talk to the people we know, and we wonder why our our influence isn't growing, our impact isn't growing. When you get out and you mingle with other people, you learn about what they're doing, you connect with them, you can find ways that maybe you can leverage off each other and find ways to collaborate. I'm not a sales trainer, Joyce is. But we found a way to collaborate with each other and to leverage our strengths. And that's what we need to do to push each other. So yes, it's open to men, it's open to women. Whoever wants to come out, information is gender neutral.
Wow.
And information is power.
Yep. All right, we're going to get details from you in just a bit on how to register and where, what, all that stuff. But let's take this call. Caller, you are on Morning Blend Business.
Morning Blend Business. Man, Morning Blend, you're very diversified.
Yes.
Many years ago when I sold insurance, I think I mastered the art. And that same mastery, I think I can share with anybody because it could probably be related to whatever business you're doing. It's basically prospect. If you're looking for something to offer, see if people want it. And then when you have prospected and you see that you can probably make an approach to this person, depending on whatever you're selling, because if I could probably sell you the car that you own right now, and you wouldn't realize you bought your car twice. I know, but you have to have that mindset.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying? And you do it with the conviction that it's sold already. Because what we do sometimes is we have actually made the sale and still selling. And
Absolutely. Made to sell and then just stop talking.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You see? And then the sale is already done, but you right there like a fool, reselling, and then you lose the sale.
Messing
the
it
lady
up.
told me point blank, he said, sir, if Mr. Pendleton tell me eat that cockroach, I would. I say, okay, now I know how to sell to you.
Oh, dear.
Have a good day.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you,
and
caller.
to your point,
Yeah.
and to your point, that's why it's important for everyone to come tomorrow, right? Because there may be someone there that needs your product or service, and or someone that you service, or they can provide something for you. So as Simone said, networking is important, but it's also for us all to understand that I used to love when they did the Take Your Daughter to Work Day, right? because it gave men insight to, oh, my daughter may actually be interested in this profession. Oh, my daughter may be interested in a business where my son may not be, right? So we need people like you, with your sales experience to come out and be able to support and network and share in conversation.
Yeah. You said something interesting. Prospecting, you both mentioned it earlier that, this might be your hobby, but does anyone really want what you're selling? And that may be a bitter pill for some people to swallow to recognize that. How do you go about recognizing that? Because you talk to your friends, they'll tell you, yeah, this sounds great, but not really.
Well, you go out there and you test the market, right? You go out there with a couple of different sales strategies, and once you have a couple people that's really buying and loyal to your business, I call them fans, right? We have followers and we have fans. And so once you have someone, then now you want to survey that person and say, like for sales training, for instance, people can say that I sell sales training, but what I really sell is confidence. I sell dreams. I sell the hope and feel the hope that people can get into sales, earn $100,000 their first year, pay off their student loans, buy a home for their family. I sell dreams, right? And so you need to understand from your biggest fan why they buy from you, because what value you think you add, they may have 2 or 3 other points that you really add. And so now you want to market with using those 2 or 3 points because you want to find more people like that person that you add that value to. And that's who's going to buy your business.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So tell us about tomorrow. How do you sign up? What do you do? It's a hybrid seminar. Explain what that means. And and where do you go? Simone?
So we have a link. It is push.eventbrite.com. I think that's the right link.
That's correct.
Okay, great. And so you can go on there, register online. Hybrid means that it will be both in person and virtual. So we have some persons that want to tune in virtually. We have some people that will come in person, and we will be live at the Red Cross Auditorium. Registration starts at 9:30 at Red Cross, and we will kick off at 10. And as mentioned, we will have our inspirational charge by Kim, and she will be guiding us through the day. We have also Roy Ann Dean, who will be joining us. She is a public relations guru, no stranger to Morning Blend.
That's right.
She will be sharing. I think it's very important for entrepreneurs to understand the difference between sales, marketing, public relations, and how you need the 3 of them working together to make your business successful. And of course, we will go into the other sessions by myself and by Joyce. We will go into the pitch competition for those persons that want to now show this confidence and sell their dream to us. We're so grateful that Cable Bahamas Business Solutions has been a very supportive partner to me in these entrepreneurship events, and we're so happy that they've come on board again. I also want to say thank you to Showman eBistro, who's been, again, a phenomenal support to many entrepreneurs in the Bahamas, and they have really pivoted and shown us what we can do to be innovative in business, and they've come on board as well as a sponsor. I want to say thank you to them. And we just want to have a great time collaborating and learning together, and most importantly, to see people get out there and apply what they learn. We are coming up on what we would consider the biggest sales push in any calendar year. We don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but we certainly celebrate Thanksgiving shopping.
Right.
Absolutely. Got to closing strong.
Exactly. We have the holidays coming, so how can we close the year and finish strong? So
and
we want to encourage them.
There is a cost to attend?
Yes, the cost is $49, but if you're tuning in today, you have a coupon code of WSN PUSH That's WSN push, and you can get 10% off.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Excellent. Listen to that. The perks of Morning Blend business. Hey, sounds wonderful.
That's right.
All right. So you're going to have a great time tomorrow. This sounds wonderful. Thank you for sharing this information, these tips, this advice. Joyce Johnson, thank you so much. And
thank you.
Simone, always a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Dwight,
Thank you.
I'll be hosting my next class for entrepreneurs in Houston, December 10th and 11th. So if there's someone who wants to make the trip, and I also told them that if 10 people sign up here in the Bahamas, I'll come back and teach it here.
Okay.
And so they can go to my page at www.ysalesnetwork.com. And there's also a promo code for WIE, which is WIE 2021. And that gives them 20% off of that program.
All right. Wonderful stuff. Looking forward to that. All right. Thank you, ladies, again, Joyce Johnson and Simone Bowe. And that is it for Morning Blend Business. Before we go, just wanted to let you know that the candlelight vigil that they had planned for last night in Elizabeth Estates had to be postponed because of the inclement weather there. It's going to be rescheduled, so stay tuned. We'll give you details on when that will be. Everybody have a great weekend. Be safe, and we'll be back Monday with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay tuned for On with Aaron Green coming up next.